Any day, everyone, to those who celebrate.
I'm like, all right, y'all with me here? You know what I'm saying? Got the shirt off, you know what I'm
Oh yeah.
Hold on, wait.
Let's get it, chat.
What a weekend so far.
Oh yeah.
A lot has gone down in the better part of the last 48 hours. You got
Oh
folks
man.
getting bought out. You got new folks saying they pulling up next week. You got folks allegedly saying they want to leave.
There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. We had a long ass Hall of Fame ceremony last night, which should be great under different circumstances on a different day, maybe earlier. Who knows?
With all due respect to the newest inductees, I will say this as honest as possible. If we're looking at last year's format versus this year's, I like last year's better. Get the man dude out the way, and then if you want to listen to the other ones and their stories, it wouldn't hurt.
I would say this too though, like there's gotta be a I'm with you, like we could have it on a SmackDown, but it was kind of like optically a little weird to see the current superstars legends sitting kind of ringside in them seats. Maybe the stage presentation of I don't know, it's something, but like I enjoyed what they did last night with the presentation. I'm gonna say that.
Oh, the person was beautiful.
Yeah,
I'm talking
it's
about the
just too
format
much.
of
Logistically, yeah, the logistics is a bit crazy.
and then I mean, supposedly the place wasn't that far away, and you essentially gave folks 2 hours to get there.
And I'm not gonna lie, I feel like maybe it's not their fault. A lot was going on, but on the broadcast, I heard them say, "Yeah, the Hall of Fame is gonna be at 10 o'clock p.m." Maybe I didn't hear the Pacific time. Maybe that skipped over me. But
In
for the
Vegas,
East,
West Coast time, homeboy.
right? So for the Eastern, they'll usually put it on the screen to 10 p.m. and then if it would have been 11 to 12 for us, but we didn't see none of that. So I'm thinking at first it's gonna run at the same time as SmackDown. Okay, no, I go to YouTube, see it starts at 1. Peacock, it starts at 12, and then we get the red carpet stuff, man. Red carpet could have been jumbled in. I said this to you off air. The red carpet could have been jumbled in with interviews where the promos went. And I'm talking about the promos for WrestleMania 41 that we seen scattered throughout the Hall of Fame program. And they gave us the vignettes for the matches that's going to take place over the weekend.
So you mean like some final last words before the matches this weekend presently?
Yeah. Like basically, we seen the if I'm not mistaken, that Roman, Seth, and Roman, Seth, and Punk. We should have seen that for the first time tonight, in my opinion. Like to hype up the match right before the match.
Yeah.
It's coming. They did show it tonight right before the match. But I'm saying for the first time, it would have been like,
You talking
whoa.
about the package that played about 6 times last night, at least?
Yeah, Sail into the Black. And it's fucking beautiful. It got me going. But like you said, it played a few times. And then we got this whole hour red carpet stuff going on. It could have been just
And even before that, for those that want to see what's going to start earlier, or like earlier, like red carpet, for an hour just said show will start shortly. So it's like, so again, you had 2 hours before the show physically started.
yeah, so and maybe again, like you said, they're on the West Coast, so for them, things were a little bit like it just hit midnight, 1 a.m. Things pushed to 4:30 over here.
And that's just the East Coast.
You feel me, brother? But it's been a fun weekend. I think this is the first time in my lifetime we've had the 10 hours in one day WrestleMania, but this is like content from Friday leading into Saturday. It feels like a string of
So
events for
if you
real.
think
That
about it, we had 3 hours of SmackDown. We had what, a 3.5 hour Hall of Fame, 4.5 if you count the pre-show. we had about 3 hours of stand and deliver, and we just had about what 3.5 hours of Mania Night One.
Yep. And then, not to mention, like you said about stand and deliver, it flawlessly, effortlessly took us right into WrestleMania kickoff. It was
Mhm.
like a seamless transition. Like they're over there finishing their programming. Roxanne is telling Stephen, they going off to finish NXT Stand and Deliver, which I got opinions on that. I don't know if you want to, just touch on whatever happened on Stand and Deliver, but we could do that later now. But Roxanne, I thought she was getting called up. Kind of, me and you
That was a
touched
very
on
weird
that.
segment after the PLE had ended.
Yeah, I was just like, well, I mean, she kind of said it in that promo right there, or in that face to face. She's at her best with the NXT title around her waist. So I mean, I hope management doesn't really like. Maybe they feel like that's the case right now. But I thought the Raw roster could have benefited from having her. Hell, even the SmackDown roster could have benefited from having her up there. But you know, where you want to start at, my brother? Because
Well, before we get into the show, my question is: have we got an official date for the draft yet?
no, not that I heard. I haven't heard nothing about no
So,
draft.
so the reason why I bring that up is, for example, I mean, it's as the Vintage shows, it looks like we're getting Aleister Black this Friday. Okay, what I'm going with this is, with that potentially happening next week, we have 3 weeks until the next PLE, which is Backlash in St. Louis. Do you wait till mid-May to do the draft? Because again, it seems like we may get Seth and Roman at.
Do you
Uh,
remember when they did it last year?
I
Was
do not,
it okay? Because I know it wasn't immediately, right?
but I'm just saying, like we have a PLE not that far away, so you may want to. It wouldn't hurt to wait about a month and a half at least.
Trying to.
It,
Well, yeah, that's a good. I don't remember the exact date of last year, but I mean, I think we could wait a second because the champions are now like we got new champions on night one, new stories developing throughout.
we have folks debuting again, possible NXT call ups, and with these new partnerships, who knows how many plausible free agents and or crossovers. Yeah, we
Yeah,
see, for example, folks, as it was announced today, WWE has purchased AAA, Lucha Libre AAA.
man, that was
The
crazy.
that was out of nowhere. I know they had a very like under the radar partnership as of late.
And I don't know what that word means because to me, acquire means like you can acquire somebody's services or
So
you could acquire the
usually that means
entity.
we
They
bought them.
copped them. Yeah, they bought them. That was the first thing that ran through my mind. Like, whoa.
But
But
here's why I'm not really freaking out about it, like we've joked about for the better part of the last year. WWE got $5 billion from Netflix. They're just sharing the bread at this point at the, for the price of doing business to try to make more money.
and I don't even feel. I mean, it could be. It's half and half, but I really think that TKO is doing a great job at putting their hands and feet on everything combat. They got bull riding. They got the UFC. They got the WWE.
They're
I
starting
mean, why?
boxing soon.
Right? Why not? And also, why not capitalize and go global and get some of these promotions like a Triple A? Like you said, they're already selling out. They the top. They're at the top of the promotion in Mexico. They're selling out arenas. Why not acquire that and put that
And,
in the portfolio?
and again, for those that may not be up
Appreciate that, Beth.
caught up with the AAA right now, they are white hot. They're selling out practically all over Mexico. Also, for those historians, so to speak, Conan is the booker of AAA. Also, for you historians, one of their former champions or who's currently some hot water in Mexico is ADR. That would be one hell of an olive branch to fix. And like again, as we've seen Triple H unfuck a lot of shit, could he unfuck this? But also, if he, I just want to just go sidebar real quick. Say he tries to talk with Alberto Del Rio, where
Mhm.
would that leave Paige? Because she's open to coming back later this year.
I mean, I think right now is the time to show. if you want to be in the WWE and you want to work with them, you have to be the ultimate professional. Like we see Andrade and Charlotte, they're not together from knowledge that's been put out there, and they're on the same brand and they're able to coexist. Seeing whether they run into each other back, they're on the same brand.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
but
things
this
are
was a
different. Now I know
very
things are different.
this is a very public relationship that went south a couple of times.
I think you do your best to just separate them. If you have like, unless it's gonna cause that much of a disruption, we don't do it. We don't need the bad press. We don't like at this point. You know what I'm saying? We don't need the negative ADR press. But if there's room to fix things and bring them on board, then we explore the options.
Yeah.
Cause I feel like Paige, she got a bunch of things she can do. Like she got remnants of okay. She had Mandy Rose. Mandy Rose created a group with Gigi Dolan and JC James. So there's like remnants of Paige lingering down in NXT. I've told you that before. I mean, if you want to bring her up,
Weren't
they
her and
can.
Naomi part of PCB? If that was the name of their trios during the Divas Revolution,
Yes, sir.
could you
hmm
imagine them two reuniting?
Again,
Also, real quick, on that note, show the page, TNA had a Unbreakable this past Thursday. Want to know who's in attendance?
who's that?
Alicia Fox.
Mm. I mean, I think I seen something a few months ago that she was like trying to get out of
She,
retirement or
yeah,
something.
I
Or
think
like,
she's retired now, but again, she still loves the game.
yeah. But it's definitely kicking up. I feel like WrestleMania Night One is it's in the books. I think, like I said, I told you this on the text message. They played it safe tonight, and tomorrow I expect things to get messy.
Also, real quick, let's take a little sneak peek at night two, if you don't mind.
All right, let's get it.
Give me one moment to pull it up. So night two, as it was announced, it is leading up the show will be Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, and Bianca Belair. Also
All
on the
right,
card, we
so
have in a Sin City street fight, Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre. We also have, in my opinion, plausibly the sleeper match of the whole weekend, AJ Styles and Logan Paul. We then have the fatal four-way between Braun Breaker, Dirty Dom, Finn Balor, and Penta. Also, we have for the women's tag titles, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez versus Lara Valkyria, and potentially no Bailey.
mm,
So a lot of folks are speculating Becky's return. We'll see what happens with that. I'm not sure what happened with Bailey, but there's been some scuttlebutt as to people trying to spitball a theory. We shall see. And in the main event, for the undisputed WWE Championship, we have Cody Rhodes taking on John Cena in his final WrestleMania.
oh, fucking we. Is there any match that you like wanted to just shoot a prediction on, or you just wanted to give a quick rundown on those real quick?
So, I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Logan Paul beats AJ.
Okay.
And as far as the Fatal 4-Way, I'm personally rooting for Dom.
You said that fatal four way right there. I was just asking so I could get these images right here on the screen for the folks. That's the only reason why I was asking my
You
good
had him queued up. You ain't got to lie, Craig.
brother. Man, I
You
was doing
ain't got
as
to
you was
lie.
as you was running the car down. I was doing my best to get these images on the
You're like,
file.
shit, they're here somewhere.
Man, in a timely manner, trying to get these things out. But look, I mean, again, I'm looking forward to this match, like you just said, because I want to see Dirty Dom get his moment. I mean, sure, he's had the
I'm
North
calling it.
American, yeah, bro. Like, I need that to happen, bro. I'm there with you. You
Now
know,
the que-
sure,
now
Prince is here, he's doing good, but Dom is Dom time for me.
also the reason why I got faith in him is, did you happen to see who was sitting next to Carlito at the Hall of Fame?
Nah.
Our brother, our goat, JD Madonna.
Oh yes, yes, I did notice he was back. I did.
Ooh, could you imagine if Finn gets screwed by them and booted out of the Judgment Day?
Man. I mean, I feel like Finn getting kicked out is to me almost the inevitable. Like, I don't want to act like we the smartest guys in the room, but I mean at times it feels like we are, right? Like, come on,
I
like
mean, call
at
us
the
Nostradamus. What can
yeah,
I
I mean
say?
just look at the success rate.
We got our
The-
eye on the pulse. Like I
yeah,
told you privately, we are one with the people.
yeah, man. And much like other things we've seen, I mean, like tonight again, the Seth stuff. We've kind of been exploring the possibilities of that being real.
That and accepting the whole what if.
And I think
Because
that's a hard pill for others to swallow. I don't think others who really seen that as a reality. They
but
hear it.
here's the
Hmm.
beauty of it. It's different. Yes, if he stays with Roman, yeah, we've seen that for the last what 5 6 years, give or take, on and off.
This is the
With
freshest
Punk,
thing.
we're essentially reliving the glory days, and that could leave a bad taste in people's mouth. Now with Seth, we haven't gone down that road. As a matter of fact, we've never contemplated that.
This is so beautiful,
This
bro.
this, this is going to be very interesting. Now,
This is
again, whether it works or fails, that's beside the point. But for right now, at this moment in time, the game's changed
right now, this knee deep into the story. It makes sense. It doesn't make sense, but like I mean, it kind of does if you want to just go left completely. But all of that, Paul Heyman leaving and going to manage somebody else right now. That we could save that if he got more years left in him in the business. But right now, this was the right move. This was the absolute right move. And it's not even just the right move because on paper, we can tell you what happened, but you had to have watched the emotion, everything. Bro,
because
all
I'm going to
three
be
of them went
honest.
down. I knew something was up.
I'm going to be completely honest. Again, I had my theories on that this could be a possibility, and I was accepting of that. The way it went down never even crossed my mind.
Bro,
I
it,
never would have came up with that.
it's the it was so much imagery. Again, they do well with the imagery, the symbolism.
For the love of God, can we give Paul Heyman a goddamn Emmy right now?
Bro, was I the only one that felt like when he had the chair, it was very reminiscent of Brock in one corner, Roman in the other
Yes,
corner, and the
exactly.
title.
Yes, that's the first thing that came to my mind.
And then we get into more Shield stuff with the chair.
Now, what I thought initially was, I thought Paul was gonna accidentally throw the chair over the rope, and it just flies over them. Seth hears the chair and grabs it, and Paul's playing it off like that one's supposed to happen. And then at the end of the match, it's one of those, yeah, that was me all along. That's what I was thinking.
I I mean I'm almost there with you where I thought he was gonna throw it in the middle and let them fight for it. Almost like I didn't think it was
Like
gonna
it
be
was
a
an accident or something.
yeah. And then to many people been calling, oh, this is a trap. To those people that's been saying this is a trap, bro. And
I'll eat crow for that one.
no,
I'll eat
but
crow.
I just say that to say that it was done so beautifully because for a half a second they had me where I'm like, yes, the wise man.
Came
He
through.
looked, but then something didn't. I was just like, hold on, he's still in the ring. Like you know what I'm saying?
All three were in the ring.
Something's a bit off. He's pointing to Seth. Look, look, look. And then he kind of gets right behind. Roman kind of like positions him a
Oh
little
no.
behind.
Let's go. No. Let's go to the first one first.
Bro, oh yeah, that
Yeah,
one was
because
the CM Punk one.
that one hands him the chair. We get the low blow. And did you happen to catch what Paul was telling Punk?
You
Why
made
would
me,
you make me choose?
yeah.
He's my tribal chief. And in vintage Paul Heyman fashion, we've seen him do this with Brock. We've seen him do it with Big Show. We've seen him do it with Curtis Axel, Jack Swagger, Brock Lesnar again, now with Roman Reigns, and I'm sure there's several others in the past. He is a master at the double cross.
But also the low blow he gave to Roman, he gave it a
That one
little.
was
He gave
emphatic.
it a little shove and turn and a little dig in there, like get it out. The Punk one was like, oh man, like
Like, shut the fuck up. But again, with one of the Roman,
Roman was dug that
that
one
one was
in.
personal.
Yeah.
but
handing over the
again,
chair to Seth. Seth
now
waiting.
this main event. Now we'll touch more on it later on the show. But what this kind of paints sets up for me for the next, I'm gonna say it as early as little as the next 4 months to the rest of the year. This is now setting up again Seth versus Roman because that, like I said last year, that is what's gonna happen, and it seems like we're finally on the road to that. How apropos we got backlash in a couple weeks. You
Mm.
still have unfinished business with Roman and Punk, and also more importantly, this paints the picture for the reunion of the ones, the full reunion. Because again, ev- Cody said this was happened. Jay and Jimmy told him, "Don't trust Heyman." Everyone told him. Maybe this is like we like you talked about how Roman was gonna be more apologetic. Maybe this is how we finally get there. He's gonna be like, "Hey, you guys are right, Jay. I'm proud of you. I mean it. I love you. All that fun stuff." And little by little, we just creep more towards those three reuniting and getting back to where they once were.
What I love about this for Roman, I feel like he's gonna come back even more. Every time he gets burned, he comes back even more on top of his game.
And also here's another story that I'm sure no one's really thinking about right now is this is why when I said earlier how maybe we should put the draft back. Imagine Seth on SmackDown and going after Cody. Yes, he's 0-3 against him, but everyone was clamoring how this was an unofficial number one contenders match.
Mm.
And all of them, well, except for maybe Roman, but I'm sure they're all going to gun after Cody because, as Roman and Rock have said in the past, that's the A plus trophy.
I'm
Uh,
there
uh,
with you, but I'm also interested to see what happens with Randy Orton. And they're gonna be in St. Louis. That's a good time to maybe start the feud with him and Cody, or maybe Cena if Cena's champion. Either or, if one of the others not the
like,
champion, but
like I said, this sets the table up for so many things.
yeah,
Like I said, what I just mentioned right now, those few things, like that could be that's easily 8 months of TV right there,
right, right. I
especially
mean,
with the mastermind Heyman at the helm.
listen, you talking about Roman and Seth? I immediately started thinking Punk and Drew. Like we can have a year long or 8 month rivalry where they only have 3 matches in 8 months. Maybe even
And,
not even no matches. Like you said, it's just a build up.
and like I said, Roman's never got that pin. Yeah, he's got the DQ, but other than that, Seth's got his number. He's always had his number.
And Seth pins him tonight.
Exactly.
I mean, the match was phenomenal. The match was like talk about triple threats. Like I think sometimes when people watch triple threats in this day and age, we looking for all the high spots. Like this was so much storytelling in so many different ways. Like Punk starts out playing mind games. He goes out to Paul Heyman. You know what
Oh,
I mean?
that was that was hilarious.
Yeah,
And
bro.
looking right at Roman while doing it.
Yeah, it's so many mind games throughout this match. You see Seth Rollins keep trying to convince Roman, let's work together. Let's work together. It's him we got to take out. And
He's
then
the
Rome,
outsider. He's the cancer.
even that moment
He's
when
gonna
they did the
betray you.
shield bomb, it looked like they had me for a second. Like Roman had me. I'm not gonna lie. I thought he bought into it for a second.
But I think he kind of understood that was a move because of what Seth was saying a few minutes before that. You're nothing without me. You're nothing without Paul. You're nothing without your bloodline. You're nothing without Mox.
Yep. Again, it's gonna be a crazy ride for them two right there. And now it's even like I didn't think they could add even more to it, but they found a way to add even more to what they got going on. Like just when you thought that stuff that
We
happened
thought we
10
had it
years ago,
already.
yeah.
They found that hidden gear. It's like, oh shit.
Now you know how we do around here, chat. We did this is what we're talking about. This is not the end of the show. We just started. You know what I'm saying? We're just covering. We picking up where they left off. so to
we're still
speak.
mentally processing what we just saw about half an hour ago because in those couple minutes, again, about 10 movies were just set up. About 80 money fights were just set up, at least in the last 8 months alone.
Yep.
The rest of the year is already booked right now. I
And I'm
promise you that.
and this is the hottest story in my opinion
And
in
again,
WWE right now.
it sets up so many more.
And I'm kind of
Like
glad that we got like you said, setting up new stories and a closer to that whole favor stuff. Like I feel like you said about gears shifting gears. Like I'm kind of glad we're over that. Like it wasn't the worst thing. It actually had me invested the favor. I'm not gonna like sit here and say the favor stuff didn't, but after a while, it kind of felt like all right. So
now that I think about it, I find it rather appropriate that when Michael Cole kept stating the words, "The winner of this determines the future."
oh yeah. And Seth Rollins had mentioned that in his promo. I don't remember which week, but he said it maybe 2 weeks ago or
You know
something.
what else he said?
What he said?
It's best for business.
Yeah, that
Last
I
time he
yeah.
said that, he was clicked up with the authority. For all we know, now again, this is a plausible prediction for tomorrow. Again, we'll get to that later on in the show. But could you imagine if all this is a plan by The Rock?
It'll be phenomenal. And also, I just think this is just magically done. Where Seth Rollins' character in this match, I feel like he needed this kind of, like you said, and to start it off, we've seen Paul Heyman with Roman for the last 5 years. We playing the classics with him and Punk again. This is a new arc. This is it. I like this. I'm not mad at.
Amethyst is going to be okay.
I'm not mad at it. My heart is broken.
It's going to be
Charlotte
all
versus
right.
Tiffany Botchamania. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa.
Huh?
Voodoo, whoa. Charlotte versus Tiffany Botchamania. I mean, you didn't enjoy it. I really thought
Voodoo, you're an AEW fan. I'll get to your ass later on. Don't you worry. I've been meaning to have some shit to say to you.
Amethyst. I don't know if you caught what I said a few moments ago, but every time, in my opinion, Roman Reigns gets burned, he comes back better than before. He's on top of his game. I know, just like you know, he's gonna be just fine. It does. It hurts a bit. It hurts a bit. I cannot lie. To see the wise man do what he did,
But
but but
but in the legendary words of, as they referenced as him as jumping Jimmy Ross, as we used to reference to a Dave Batista once upon a time, and I now will use a statement towards Roman Reigns, our tribal chief. The animal has been unleashed.
hmm and Voodoo. I mean, to your point, I mean, I was looking at whatever imperfections. Like that's what this match is supposed to be. It started off like a cat fight. Like they kind of went off ground and pound to start the match off, and I kind of enjoyed that
A little
because
bit.
I was telling Ray's a week ago, like that's what this match is. I'm afraid it'd be a shoot cat fight. That's what I was afraid of. But seeing
That's what
that
I kind of wanted.
they were able to work together and make it look like a shoot fight, And listen, there was some shoot landings. Like you look at Tiffany got busted up. She got dinged
She
up.
got a little mouse on her forehead, maybe a chipped tooth.
A
Who
chipped
knows?
tooth, it seems like. Oh man, he said, "Hold up, do I have to come in there and drop some gospel on Razor?" Oh baby, not the gospel.
I wish a motherfucker would.
I need to hear from
Voodoo
Roman.
to the front
Oh
stage,
man,
please.
that's a good. I haven't even thought
Do
about
we need to
that.
talk about Dynasty? Hmm?
Oh baby,
Hmm? We
oh
can go there if you
baby,
want.
that's a good point though. I don't even in my mind. I didn't even think when's the first time we're gonna hear from Roman. I just feel like it's gonna be another surprise, kind of like how he pulled Seth out the cage when Seth least expects it. That's when Roman gonna show up.
No, the stuff with him and Seth is too hot right now. It, the last thing you do is simmer that one again. That one's got to get kickstarted by Backlash, and I said that's 3 weeks away.
I mean, at whatever point, he just got to show up and
Like I said, as
catch
of
Seth
right
off
now,
guard.
that's your main event for the PLE. Yes, it's Randy's hometown, but again, this is the main event right now, as far as I'm concerned.
Raising your boy Vince would be part of AEW.
And he'll clean up all the bullshit y'all doing right now.
Yo, Chad, listen, I had a crazy theory the other day. Don't get me
Surpassed Niger
started.
for most episodes. Guess he also can beat the C Show. Was good.
Because what if Vince starts a new company and his first two superstars are John Cena and Roman Reigns?
He's already got Kevin Dunn. He could have Brock Lesnar.
Mm.
He'll probably have. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets Ken Shamrock.
Nah, I mean, listen, how's everybody enjoying night one though? Like Amethyst, I know things didn't go our way. Did you
hold
enjoy
on,
the rest of
hold
the
on. I
pay
gotta
per
cook
view?
Buddha real quick.
PLE? Yeah, yeah.
What old AEW? When Cody got fucked over, or when Punk beat up the EVPs?
Nah, when Vince was hated and everybody wanted to rebel, we know this. Like,
No,
come
he's
on.
talking about we need the old AEW back.
I mean, but that's like that's the thing that helped AEW be good. That there was a want to watch that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like now that there's
Good
no
shit,
real
pal.
like now that there's no real want for the alternative, it's kind of like, oh yeah, we could listen to the pop music again. we could go back to this. Listen, I'm gonna be honest too, Voodoo. How you feel about AAA? I mean, I think like the presentation. I was talking to this about Razor. I was talking to Razor about this, that the presentation that WWE just dumb. Listen, they big in Mexico, but them stamping what they stamped right here, right now on WrestleMania weekend, on the biggest weekend. Just put so many eyes on that product itself.
And like I said, I mean, yeah, CML has been around 100 years. That they're historically they're what WWE's down there. I get all that, but they've been kind of like I said, they've been a little stagnant lately. Partially, probably because Tony's probably fucking their talent over too over here in stateside, and AAA has been on the up and up. Yes, you have the drama with ADR, but again, if he's cool with the fact that he's probably going to just be in Mexico and not even have a chance at this partnership, we're good.
And I think it creates a scenario where like that Forbidden Door was supposed to be like the whole combination of promotions, but it just started to feel like New Japan and AEW. I feel like Worlds Collide could really be a chance for. It's gonna start off. We've seen it before where they did the
Well,
Raw,
you got
SmackDown,
Noah.
NXT. You feel me? This is what I'm saying. Like we can include five different
So you
promotions.
think about it: WWE, AAA, Noah,
TNA.
NA. Hold, hear me out.
They got these
You-
ID inclusions.
hear me out. What do you think what do you think happens next? MLW or GCW? Because WWE kind of has like one foot in the door in both promotions, and those are basically the last aside from NWA. That's it as far as the indies.
I'm gonna be honest. Just because
Maybe
I feel like the
progress, but AEW's got
GCW,
that one.
I think the GCW product is a little all over the place for me sometimes. Not saying it's bad, but for me personally, I think Hog, they just
That's
branched
another
out
one.
to
My
Florida.
apologies.
Yeah, they just branched out to Florida. Amazing
But
Red got
again,
ties in WWE with like Zelina and
but again, if you look at the stuff with for example, with JD, are they just going to ride with AEW?
I mean, I think if anybody's smart right now, you explore all options. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you would want to do business with WWE, but even if AEW is on the table and if it's a temporary, you don't lock down for a long period of time. You know what I mean? Like, look at TNA. They did it smart. They didn't hurt themselves doing business with AEW.
Excuse me.
I mean, they with WWE now. It was a
Well,
lump in the road. I look at it as a lump in the road.
okay, I was going to say they got Josh Alexander. They
No,
TNA
they
probably would have
definitely always got flavor, bro.
TNA probably would have kept Omega for the most part. Um,
Like
eh,
Josh Alexander, Moose. You know what I'm saying? They've got players over there.
well, Alexander's AEW now.
Yeah, but I'm saying if you was referring to that time period, like when TNA was partnering with AEW and stuff, like they had them players in the mix. So it's like they had some things, but now it's like they're free to do stuff with WWE. They didn't do the long term stuff with AEW that was gonna hurt them. Like it seems like New Japan, I don't know what's they deal with AEW, but they might have, you know what I'm
Well,
saying, put themselves
the
into
main the
too much
main the main
business with
problem
AEW.
is
Brother Bowie, I see you.
the main problem with them is Okada's in AEW, Rocky Romero's in AEW. Both of them are have strong friendships with Tanahashi, who's the president of New Japan.
Right,
Rocky
Rocky
Romero is
the
also a
Bridge.
VP of CMLL.
Yeah, Rocky Romero's the bridge, which shout out to him, salute, because that must be no easy task. You know what I'm saying? But
But that's a weird thing because again, that locker room has been very divided since that partnership happened. And as we learned this week, New Japan just lost Tetsuya Naito and Bushi, two of the most popular guys.
bro, because I can imagine that, like from Takeshita when they first brought him over here, I could understand his frustrations. Like it's like, okay, if you're gonna make me go through the ringer to earn my spot, do that. But it's kind of like you brought me to America, and I could be doing some bangers in Japan right now. Like, what
And
the fuck we doing?
he's easily one of the most popular guys in Japan right now, and he's barely there.
Yeah, so
New Japan's been lobbying them to get him there full time there for the last 6 months.
right, it's just now that AEW is using him at his high, and I wouldn't even say his highest potential. It's just they using him to a potential more than
Not
what
not
they.
not
Not enough. It's not enough.
aside from his chemistry with Osprey and Omega, he's just there.
I mean, I agree. There should be
I
more.
mean,
He should be a mainstay. Like he should be a real mainstay of AEW, like a top heel there.
this man, when he first got there, he beat Omega twice, and he was just there for the lower mid card ether. He beat one of your top guys twice. Why is he not in contention for the AEW World Championship?
Well, I just want to answer Voodoo real quick. I think, to be honest, to give a different take, I think Kenny wants to get fully healthy. Like, I think it'd be a tough transition to go through that health stuff he just went through, and then jump right into the WWE unless WWE is gonna work with him and kind of do what they did with Jacob, where they gave him X amount of time. You see Jacob come back in phenomenal shape.
Work with
Like,
who?
whoa, Kenny Omega and WWE. Like I can't imagine him just coming off of this sickness. He just and to want to jump, it
Well,
wouldn't be an easy. It's like kind of
Brock
like,
did that with UFC.
yeah, that shit was,
Shane
man.
McMahon technically did it,
Those are tough individuals because that's not easy to fight that and come back.
and they had it worse than him.
And look,
Apparently,
I mean,
Omega got to take care of a lot earlier than they did. Apparently,
but look at how Kenny looked after that last match. They were saying, remember I pointed out how he kind of got out of there on Okada when Okada came through. A lot of people noticed that. I don't know if it was.
I think that was more so like he's touching his promo. He's not fond of what's gone down since he left, and as he stated on his Twitch a couple of times, to where allegedly he was the one of the ones that tried to work with Punk to keep him there. He was the only
No,
one that was trying to just be a man and try to hash it out like men.
listen, I said this all the time, and I'm gonna say it till, like you say, till the cows come home. WWE is the major leagues. There's only one major league.
Yeah.
You don't see two NFLs. You don't see two NBA. And I'm talking
Well,
about American. I'm talking about in America. There's a
well,
Euro League out there that doesn't
but
qualify.
even then they look at NFL as where you want to be.
Like, yeah, like you know what I'm saying.
Baseball's big all over the world. But they look at MLB as where you want
Or
to
the
be.
Dominicans, or the Puerto Ricans, or the Mexicans want to be in the MLB.
Yeah,
Get that
same
bag
with
and
NBA, same with NFL.
notoriety.
Yeah. Now it's a little bit different with soccer, respectfully, and a
Yeah,
couple of
soccer
sports,
is. Hmm. Yeah,
but
soccer
but
not
just
high like that in across the world.
but baseball, basketball, football as examples, or even look MMA. They all look at UFC as the promotion.
The UFC is the promotion. That's where you gotta be. I mean, almost everything else don't exist no more. I used to remember the Bellators, the Strike Forces,
The
whatever's
WECs.
yeah, pride, all this extra shit. You know what I'm saying? Respectfully, but like now, like you said, it's UFC. You train and get your fights, you get your amateur fights, but the goal is to land where the UFC, like you said, like
Start making the real money.
yeah, man.
And even that you gotta earn.
And AEW is kind of like, remember when I was telling you, I'm surprised that so much people across the world like WWE, because I feel like WWE is like Broadway. It's like it's American wrestling. It's that form of entertainment. When you go to Japan wrestling, you see a different form. You go to Mexico, you see that form. So I'm
You go
surprised
to
that there's
England, you go to Australia, even in Canada.
yeah, and what Tony Khan and AEW trying to do with their major league, they want to be presented as a major league. Okay, so my comparison to this, you trying to start an NBA with a bunch of Euro dudes, which there's nothing wrong with that, but not everybody's going to be your Luka Doncic.
Not everyone's gonna be a Joker. Not everyone's gonna be Wemby.
That's you
Now,
know,
once in a while, you might find a unicorn, but
and then comes the presentation. Whether you hate to hear that or not, folks, presentation is everything.
that how you treat them.
Yeah, and when I say presentation, it's also the story being told. Like when I watch these kickoffs, sure they're long, but they take time reminding us of the
Are you
fucking
putting them in
story.
a position to succeed, or are you just letting the image run the asylum?
And I'm not trying to. We ain't taking time to just shit on AEW, but when I watch their kickoff, they just joking on there. It feel yeah, it's good vibes, you know. But what's the story about? Who am I watching tonight? What's
Why
going
should we care
on?
about these matches?
Right?
Yeah, yeah, a dream match is fun every once in a while, but other than that, it's like again, is there any substance behind it? Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a dream match, but there's no guarantee they're gonna have chemistry.
Again, that's why I
Or if they have
enjoyed them
chemistry, okay,
adding
and that's a different story. But again, what if it's
Jeff
two of your
Jarrett
favorite
was
guys and it's a shit match?
Jeff Jarrett was a good addition to that panel. Feel like when they were joking around, he's trying to bring it back to the
What
story and
happened to his
let us.
retirement tour? Talking to you, Voodoo. Don't you run now?
As for NXT since Trick lost, I mean you made a good call on that. You texted me earlier, Voodoo. You had Oba winning. I had Trick winning because I felt like it kind of like you said, if he lose, he got to go up. So if he doesn't go up, I'm shocked. If you just keep him on NXT, I mean I don't know, man. It's just I don't know what the fuck we
I
doing
keep
with the
on
guy.
NXT at least till the summer
I mean yeah, I don't know, bro. Like
because you put him on the main roster. What's he gonna do exactly?
fuck with Carmelo. That's the only immediate thing I could see.
He got Miz,
No, but not in a tag team. Like just try to like feud with him or something.
and then what? Pink slip him. He, as far as the men that don't have a championship, the only one that's probably ready is Tony D'Angelo.
And on another note, with Trick Williams, has like can Booker T not being on the main roster announcing him be a detriment, or do you think a Pat McAfee would be good for him on Raw? Like,
That's why that unfortunately that's probably why he's stuck on NXT unless you elevate Booker to be Trick's manager, and that might be the only way he can survive on NXT or on the main roster for a little bit.
or if the crowd is really behind him, like let's say his music hits and the
You
main
use him,
roster
what I
don't.
mean is use him similar to how you use Nana with Swerve.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be mad at that.
That might be the only way. But even that, Trick needs a lot of work.
Yeah, the match wasn't that clean today. I'm not gonna lie. It was a few things that I'm like, they're getting a little ambitious in that. You know, there was some
Javon
work.
got to eat a steak or two. At least 10, 20 pounds.
I had opinions about that match too, because it was kind of like
Well, so did I.
I wasn't a fan of the finish right there. Like I didn't understand the how you go from the selling to no selling, but I understand he's the ruler, he's the beast. But it's
He's
kind of like
Thanos. I get that. But again, if you're going to do all that, cut the match by about 10 minutes.
yeah, because there was a lot of damage
A lot
being
of shit that
taken,
didn't need to be there.
a lot of high spots, double cutters, a lot of jazz.
Uh-huh.
But I mean, yeah, I mean like NXT Standard delivered to me. It was dope. My favorite match was the female match. Selfishly, like
Which one?
the world heavyweight, the main
The
event.
four-way?
Yeah,
Okay.
I thought it was beautiful. I mean, there was nothing really all four competitors in there looked good. I thought the best one to me, low key, was Jada Parker. Like I thought she really like, for, like I mean I don't know how much ring experience she got compared to the others, but she seems like she got the least.
Yeah, compared to them, she is the new kid on the block compared to all of them. I think she's got maybe what year and a half, much like Kiana, much like Soul, much like Lola. They all got less than 2 years under the belt.
And mind you, there's a big language barrier in that ring going on.
Yeah,
You got Spanish, what is Julia?
Japanese,
Japanese,
Italian.
and then American, right? Like
Yeah,
so you got the language barrier going on in that match where like I've seen a few moments where Jada, she was on time and she had to wait for some of them.
I took it as she was getting overzealous. Now
Maybe
again,
she yeah, maybe she was
I don't know, I don't
too
know.
early.
And again, that'll adjust itself with experience. One match I was impressed with was the ladder match. It got a
Fire.
little clunky at times, but then again, it's like those are very petite women that and with normal sized ladders.
I could have went without the little emotional moment at the top, but I get it. But
Well, with
Zarya's
Zarya
character,
and Soul.
yeah, Zarya's character doesn't strike me as like an overly friendly. Like I'm just
Again, they've been trying to be established as a tag team as well, so that's why I was a little taken aback with two things. One, that they both qualified for this match, and two, they both came out together. And even the announcers kind of made note. I was like, why is this going on?
point. I'm not a fan of that. I'm not. I mean, like you
Now the
typically.
stuff that happened on top of the ladder, I was like, it is what it is. But again, I needed more than just that. That was very passive. Now the way Soul, I guess, did a little crunch over the ladder, that was a nice spot. But other than that, the physicality on top of that before that, I needed more.
Oh yeah. But I've been a fan of Soul. So have you. You've been a big supporter of Soul Ruka here on the channel, and I think it's great she got her spot. I think Zarya is gonna be good. I've been a big supporter of hers. I think they're gonna get into a good program down the road. You know what I'm saying?
Who know what the fuck you talking about?
What is AEW that has a similar WrestleMania to it?
It should have been all in, but you guys are pissing that away. Another one you could argue is the Arthur Ashe that you guys do like early winter, but you pissed that away as well.
I'm gonna be honest. AEW's
Maybe
doing
double or
it all
nothing,
wrong.
but again, that's at a small venue in Arizona now. But again, yeah, there's a couple that should be to that caliber, yet it's not.
We did this before on the channel, Razor, when me and you went down and looked at the old WWF pay per views.
Are we counting In Your House's pay per view as well?
At some point, they were. So it's
Folks,
like
we will do a deep dive those eventually. It's just we need to match up some schedules because some of them shows were a little long back in the day.
I think kind of what we were speaking privately about matches and pay per views, meaning and leading, guiding, being a vehicle, navigating us to the next. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
feel All In has a navigation like a few weeks to the pay per view is the build up. I feel like there's no pay per view that kind of takes me
Well,
effortlessly to that. Like
well, WWE kind of has that problem with certain times where they choose to dial down, and by that I mean it's like, for example, Backlash 3 weeks away. How the hell are you gonna fill a car in 3 weeks? Now again, you're getting lucky because it's fresh off of Mania, but if this is any other PLE on 3 weeks notice, that's hard as
oh,
hell. Which is why I don't know how AW manages to do it every 3 to 4 weeks.
but look, the last pay per view with Dynasty, right?
Hmm.
And then their next pay per view is what? All In
No,
in
double or
Texas,
nothing.
double or nothing.
I think
Okay,
so. One of
when's
them
that?
two.
When is? I thought it was All In
They, they,
Texas.
they, they got one next week, a couple weeks out, or next month, a couple weeks after Backlash.
Okay.
I think it's the weekend before Memorial Day, something like that.
Like I feel like I know they got their casino battle royale, but I don't know. I feel like they kind of shot they load doing all of that shit in one night, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like that should be in its own like that
And also every couple weeks you got a Dynamite that has a gimmick. Beach break,
bro. What
winter
the fuck is the
coming.
Dynamite ring lead to? Now I get it.
Nothing.
WWE kind of just did that, but theirs is more of a flex. Oh, our two top champions are fighting, and winner gets the ring. This is just a tournament for the ring. Like, okay, Dynamite ring, 5 years in a row, MJF.
Murder, appreciate you.
Yes, sir, Murder. Appreciate you, big dog. Like, it's a lot of things to me. I would hope, like for example, let's talk about WWE Battle Royal, the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, whatever Memorial.
I was waiting for this.
I want that to be a navigation for something. Not saying, oh, matter of fact, yeah, I am saying that it should directly lead to a mid card championship match. There's no
Or yeah,
other.
like that. The controversially named Mae Young Classic. Make that for the secondary titles. Like whether and say the winner of that gets the trophy, but you get it. You get to call your shot for the U.S. or IC title.
We don't have no path, no vehicle for the mid card championships, nor for the women's.
Or another one with Crown Jewel, whoever wins between the two titles, the champions, whatever.
Yeah, I think we need to dial that back a little bit. Like that whole the
or not so
winner,
much. No. I was thinking,
the king of
King.
the
I was
ring of
thinking,
the ring, the king of the
uh,
ring
or
shit.
King of the Ring instead of them getting a world title shot.
Yeah, they
I
need to
say
dial that back a little bit.
hear me out. Whoever wins that gets number 30 in the Rumble.
Let me see.
Yeah,
I
it's a
mean,
few months away, but think about it. Say you're on a win lose, like doing this, whatever. You just remind folks in promos, hey, I still got this in the back of my pocket, locked in. I'm
right,
good. I
right,
ain't
right.
sweat. I can sweat a couple. I'm good off a couple losses. I'm good. I'm chilling.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And just have like a heel, whatever, flex on that or whatever, or just
You know what's the double edged sword for me? That like the king of the ring is that vehicle just for the wrong thing because it's putting importance on SummerSlam. Like SummerSlam was kind of just
but
like
as I'm saying, do rid of that altogether. So, for example, with my theory, for example, imagine what that would do for something like an Austin Theory, someone that we see take a lot of bullshit out as of late. Say he wins King of the Ring, and yeah, he's still eating losses or whatever, but he's still reminding folks, hey, I'm good. Guess what? Because come January, I'm gonna be number 30 in the Rumble,
right, right, right.
and then he just milks that, and then if he wins that, cool. But on the road to that, let him be a pain in the ass.
I mean, I ain't mad at that. I got other plans. Like I told you before a few months ago, I wish the brand supremacy was a thing. So like, kind of, I want them to escape war games and go back to traditional Raw versus SmackDown team, and the winners will possibly get the fight for that 30th spot. You know what I'm saying? So
That too.
I mean, either or, I'm fine. I'm with the 30th spot. We need navigations for things. We just need vehicles that make sense. Everything getting a heavyweight championship match, the Money in the
Or
Bank, the King of the Ring,
or
the
or
Royal
or
Rumble. It's just too, let's
or
go
on that notion,
switch it up.
hypothetically, say we push back the draft to after War Games, hypothetically, and we do the brand supremacy. For we could say the winners are exempt from the draft. Something add some type of
Something.
stakes to it.
I mean, they kind of already said that the heavy in this year's draft, the heavyweights were, I think, exempt.
Champions are
But,
exempt or something like that,
yeah, but I
which
mean,
is
they go
fine.
switch the
But
rules
again,
and yeah.
that's too plain Jane.
Yeah, because that's the first rule to me. That's the first year that I feel like they exempt champions. Like, well, what is that rule? It's never been that I
Yeah.
remember. That's a new rule. Like we could go away with that rule for a second. Like that don't gotta be there. That don't gotta be a thing. Yeah, like again, some importance, and I think WWE is doing it. I just think that that's an example that AEW could just look at. You know what I'm saying? And put some importance on these whatever the continental class. I think should just be random. I'll be honest. Like when it happens, it happens. I don't feel like oh, it's this time of the year. It's the Continental Classic. I don't feel like it's the time of the year in AEW for
The-
any. It don't feel like that. I'm sorry.
and that's the problem with Tony Khan trying to copy word for word what New Japan's doing. Because with New Japan, Sakura Genesis is usually the beginning of spring. Wrestle Kingdom is the very beginning of the year. Dominion is right before the cusp of summer. Then you have Best of Super Juniors. You have the G1s. They're the same time every year.
And even if it happens, it just don't feel like.
There's no importance behind it.
Yeah, it don't feel like, oh, it's that
It's
time of
just,
the year.
hey,
Like,
they do it over here, therefore we're gonna do it over here because the internet likes it.
yeah. The draft is what? So we don't know when the draft is. We were just discussing that. That's how we kind of got here.
All we know
Okada.
is it's after Mania.
Nah, I see Okada walking around with the championship, unless something changed from the last time. This is the second pin, Roman. Yeah, I'm not thrilled to see Roman get pinned, but again, I got faith that my tribal chief, our tribal chief, is gonna come back stronger, better. I mean, he was already wilding in this match tonight. He
I
just got
mean,
Shanghai'd. That's all that. That is the reality of the situation. He had this match won.
I mean, Benedict came in as a dead man walking. What could I say?
Yeah, like you seen who was begging for that chair more? It was CM Punk.
Punk.
Yeah, he was begging for that damn chair. He needed that chair more than Roman. Roman ready to
Yeah.
get up and just fight. It would have been nice if he would have got the chair the first time and skipped the shenanigan. But hey, listen, we got to where we got to. Things happen.
Now
Imagine
is where the
Okada.
fun begins.
I ain't gonna lie, Voodoo. Respectfully, imagine if Okada. I don't think nobody would. I mean, Pete, the AEW fans are good. Like, I mean, I don't know, bro. Like, I don't know a WWE fan that'll be like, oh, that happened. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh,
I don't think anyone will care, to be honest,
yeah,
because
bro.
you already pissed
My
away
brother, Snake Eyes. What's
Cena
the word, bro,
on
bro?
Dynamite.
Yeah.
Poor baby
Took
daddy.
you
Yeah.
long enough.
My boy got
Um,
Seth right there, boy. I'm screaming.
yo, what's up, fellas, man? I had to catch y'all
What's the word,
before the
man?
night is out. Night one concluded. Night
Hell yeah.
one WrestleMania concluded. I don't know what y'all takes was on this show, but I just want to say,
Get started. We just been bad mouthing AEW.
oh really? What happened with AEW?
They had a shit pay per view a couple weeks ago called Dynasty, and they're flexing because they beat WCW Nitro for the longest running show on Turner in prime time.
I feel like it's a disservice, a disrespect to Triple H and everybody that's a part of the WWE community to be talking about a fucking trash company on a night of WrestleMania Day
Hey,
one. It's
we gotta laugh at the
absolutely,
trash sometimes.
it is absolutely disrespectful.
Talk about it.
We just had a like, if I'm being real, night one ended amazing. Like, and I think it was supposed to go that way. I think like the last couple of manias, like we get so like we want so much like out of everything. Like we want so much, so much, so
We a
much
little spoiled.
that I feel like each match was paced correctly. It wasn't too much, like you know what I mean. But because I think they wanted us to that last match, they wanted us to really take all that in. Like that was the main course. Like that was the lobster. That was you know what I mean. Everything else for the night, solid, cool, booty boo. But that last match, that was the WrestleMania feel. That felt like WrestleMania. That felt like something happened. Like his history was made, a lot of things transpired in that last segment right there. Like, and tip my hat to rest. Like, I was glued to that last match. That was a 5-star match. It's a classic match that's going down in history. That's an all timer. That's one of the best triple matches of all time. We should have done triple matches this year. We got to tip our hat to one. We
And,
do.
Mhm.
and like Cole said, this is only night one.
It's only night one. We get into what happened, but for me, the way that just ended, that felt great. Like I'm glad it ended that way. Like it felt good going into tomorrow. You know what I'm saying?
So now, Snakes, let me ask you this question real quick. Now, with as been worded lately, Seth and Heyman, they chose this pairing. Okay, what if this
Huh?
is all moved by you know who?
The final boss.
Yeah.
And tomorrow we get the final piece, like another piece to the
So,
new.
so what if Seth tries to screw over Cody?
Mm.
Because
I mean,
We know Cena is working with Rock.
you know what's
Imagine if you
crazy? Sometimes we'd be like, yo, well, you want to know what happened? We'll be surprised. Like, in certain instances, it's not always wrong. It's not always bad being right. long as it's done the right way. You know what I mean? Like, it's good. I could see some shit coming, and they could just still the way they do it. To, you know what I mean? It's like, damn, that should still hit. Like, I felt like Seth was going to win tonight. I felt like something was gonna happen, but the way they did it, it still hit for me.
Yeah,
It
I was
still hit. Like, you know what I mean? So tomorrow, I don't know if it leads to tomorrow. Like to answer your question into the, like that.
it would
But
be
shit,
wild.
I'm glued to see. I'm tuned in.
So I just
I'm
want to
dead.
see like the way it transpired with this. Like, yeah, we saw him with the chair, but the way all that went down never even crossed my mind.
Mm.
You you got a Rollins. Punk comes back to WWE. He's hated by Rollins. Why is he back? We got that shit. We was waiting for that. Injuries happened. We had to wait. It was on standstill. We got Punk and Drew. Mad shit. Then we had, you know what I mean? How all this, the way all this should be intertwined in wrestling is a beautiful thing sometimes, man. When you really sit back, like, wow, the way they made all that connect is amazing. Like, Seth really left with everything. Another heist. He
Mm-hmm.
left with everything. Punk
And
and
another
Rollins,
pinfall on Roman as well.
Punk and Roman was sitting in the ring like they was right next to each other, and it's both was like in awe, like what the
Like,
fuck
damn.
did just happen? You know what I mean? That was beautiful, man.
Again, I
So do
said it earlier before you came in that there was a lot of imagery, a lot of symbolism going on throughout the match. Like you said, to me, a lot of triple threat matches happened this year, but to me, this is the one that had the most meaning, the most story being told. Like throughout the
Yeah.
match, like I said earlier, to start off, CM Punk left the ring and
Uh-huh.
said, "I'm gonna come stand over here with Paul Heyman." Like, yo, you
Voodoo,
know,
you are correct.
what I mean? And it was just a lot going on.
You know what's crazy? When you speak about symbolism, I was just looking at a little piece of like the replay at the end of certain parts. And I agree, because I think like I think the plan was already like Steph and Paul already had this plan, you know what I'm saying? But the plan almost got fucked up. Like, remember when I think Punk was about to like beat Roman, you feel what I'm saying? I think Rollins was rolling out the ring. And if you look at Paul for a split second, he dead looked at Rollins while he's rolling out the ring like fuck. Like, you know what I mean? Like, damn. Like if he wins, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hmm.
and like just little hints of like facial expressions and little things, little Easter eggs. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like I be word. That should be meaning a lot.
You be catching that, yeah.
Yeah, facts, bro. Facts.
It
So
it was hard too because it was like the camera that they did a good job of just catching Paul Heyman's
keeping him in the
face.
background.
Yeah, you feel me? They did
Mm-hmm.
a great job with that. I mean, this is the best match. It was done right. This deserved to main event. I'm not like taking anything away from the other matches, but if we got any of the other matches as is, the
Uh-huh.
same pacing, it would have not felt right to go off night one. Like this is the right way to end night one right here, in my opinion.
And it also is also like gives you it also is the beginning of a new story. It's
Yeah.
Few
also
of them.
felt like the beginning. Yeah, it's like what happens with Punks and Roman? Like what happens? Like, you know what I mean? What the fuck is gonna happen? You know what I mean? So this
So
is
on that
like
note, I
it's
want to ask
amazing.
you this: Do you at this moment in time, do you feel that Roman is set as the main event for Backlash in 3 weeks or SummerSlam?
Backlash is a perfect perfect view come following this. Like it makes so much sense this year. Like, you know what I mean? Like with
It's
all this
three
shit
weeks.
happening. It's mad backlash fights, honestly, bro. Going about to
So
happen.
that's your main event right there, as far as I'm concerned.
Possibly. I do feel like they hinted at a lot of like Roman, like just can't like he's too trusty. Like he trusts people too much, man. That's another thing, man. He trusts people, man. Like he like right in that moment he's finna trust Paul again. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And then he fucked him over. You know what I'm saying? It's just like I don't know, bro. Like it's a lot of shit with that match, bro. It's like wow, I can't believe Paul Heyman really did it, man.
Hey,
That's
give Paul
crazy.
Heyman an Emmy already.
Yo, come on,
I
that's
think the one
crazy.
that kind of get left with something with nothing to do is kind of CM Punk. Like my immediate thoughts is like, all right,
Mm-hmm.
well, Paul made his decision. He screwed over CM Punk. CM Punk ain't really like unless he want to be mad at Paul Heyman, then that'll revisit him and Seth. But him
What?
and Roman kind of don't. You know what I'm saying? They kind of just told the story of two men that disliked each other for no reason, and look what it got y'all. It got y'all fucked over in the end. and
As
Paul the
wild as this
wise man
is,
left.
why not? Why not have Punk Jay's first opponent?
Like
Punk.
my thing is like,
Okay, okay.
if Roman listens to Seth in that moment with the shield bomb, what happens?
I don't
Like
know.
you know what I'm saying? So
I legit don't know. I thought
it's
about
like,
that.
so maybe that's a part of the plan. Like, look, you never want to listen. So look, I'm gonna take everything from you again to make you sit down and think about it all again. I took everything from you again. Like, could this be a storyline? I know we want Seth and Roman to fight it out there, but could this at the end be one of those hugged out at the shit like they make up?
I mean,
And, and
as
Roman
the show was
apologizes
going off,
finally because he never
I
wants to apologize. I know that. He may
I
finally
I,
have to.
as
I
the
think
show was
because
going off, Seth was saying something on the stage. He was like, "You could have did the right thing." You know what I'm saying? He
you're
like to
nothing without
paraphrase.
Paul, nothing without your bloodline, you're nothing without Moxley.
No, I'm saying this is after the match. He was on the stage with Paul Heyman, like
Yeah,
walking up the ramp, and he's uttering some things to Roman Reigns, like you could have did the right thing, kind of to like what
right.
Snake Eyes is saying. Maybe there's still room, like he's trying to get Roman to see the light. But I think, like you said, they got to fight that one on before they even get to that.
Roman's got to get that lick
Yeah.
back now that Paul's in the fold now, just to even consider that.
But
He's
Hmm.
maybe
got to get
Roman
that one
may
back.
have to accept, man, Seth is outsmarting me. You know?
Well,
Yeah.
again, that's
Like, you know what I'm
to
saying?
reunite him with Jay then,
Right.
because again, if you think about it, Jimmy and Jay told him from jump, don't trust Heyman. He's got his record's public knowledge. Don't trust him.
But
And like they've
remember,
all claimed,
we
family's family at the end of the day.
earlier in the, like we talk about a lot, you know what I'm saying, over this course of this year with a lot of PLEs and shit. But like, remember, we were speaking about even the bloodline time. Roman had a lot of problems. He even was doing wild, fucked up shit to Paul Heyman. I remember that pushing him
To
around, shoving him.
everybody.
Know what I mean? Like, so man, at some time you get your karma, you feel what I'm saying, and shit, man. Paul Heyman, man. What
And
all
it's
right.
hard when
So it's Seth that got into Paul head to make him do that to Punk?
I mean, it's. I was just about to get
Oh,
to that point. It's hard when you got somebody like Seth saying, "Tell me when I'm telling lies," and then you look at the stats, you look at the facts. I mean, nothing he's saying is bullshit.
but
Punk
also
left, didn't
you
So
take
my question to
Heyman.
y'all is, right? How do Paul? All right, so Paul gets the favor from Punk. So why does he fuck him over? I
well,
want to
that's
know.
easy because a couple weeks ago when Seth could have taken Heyman out with a stomp, he told him, "Now you owe me a favor." The
Okay,
favor, Seth's favor was fuck CM Punk.
all right, so that favor supersedes this historic loyalty
Hey,
that him
money
and so
talks, bullshit walks.
because they made it a big deal for him to walk out with him.
Mhm.
So it only took for Seth to have that in his pocket to throw all that in the dirt.
I mean, I think so because in the degree to me, thinking about it now, as you saying all that, Wiseman, he might want to feel protected. Them promos that Seth was in front of his face, Punk
Mm,
wasn't with him, Roman wasn't with him. Seth
mm,
could have did what he wanted to him,
Yeah,
kind of like right.
mm.
He could have ended him right
on
there.
a
You
few
ain't going to
occasions, and he
nobody
chose not
corner.
to.
Yeah, you ain't going to
Yeah,
nobody corner at Mania. How about? But he like now you owe me the favor just because I ain't take you out. So
right.
all of that stuff could tie in a crazy way. Like Seth
It's
made
gonna
an
be
ultimate
fascinating to see how
architect.
they tie it in these next few weeks. And like I said, I told you, like this could be the story for the rest of the year, for all we know.
We could be entering Seth Rollins at peak. Seth Rollins. This is finna be. This run can be the best, one of the best Seth Rollins we ever seen to date.
Compared to his work with the Authority, this is version 2 of that by the looks of it. Now you have the heavy hitter of all heavy hitters. You
Straight
got
in
the
the hill,
GOAT with you now.
straight in the hill mode. Push the ref, don't touch me. Paul Heyman, yeah. Like we in full hill mode. Like we going full hill. Like yeah,
And that picture you got of Heyman behind Seth hovering over Roman, very appropriate. Like you couldn't pick a better shot than that. Where
Right.
at like Cole touched on, like he sold his soul to the Authority, now he sold his soul to Paul Heyman, the new Paul Heyman guy.
And it's like a glove that fit. Also, like Seth Rollins, sure, they might have planned this weeks ago, or it could have been on the fly, but he's been proving good points to Paul Heyman throughout all of this. You know what I'm saying? And again, what a way to just swoop in and be the architect, be the visionary. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy, and it adds more layers, a new story. Again, I told you this earlier. I'm glad that the whole favor stuff is done. We could get past the favor stuff. It was cool for what it was.
But also, again, for all we know, and this plausibly could be answered tomorrow. Imagine if this was The Rock recruiting Seth at the hand of Paul Heyman.
Mm.
Rock probably said, "Yeah, go walk with him. Yeah, make sure Roman's he thinks you're cool with him. This is our target right here. We need him."
Could be, could be. It's a lot going on. I mean, again, I thought it was appropriate that this is how night one ended. And I mean, I think it's time we take it back to you know what I'm saying, to the beginning of how this evening started right here.
The first hour, I'm be honest, was a little rough, but this was very interesting right here. I don't think the way the match happened was how a lot of folks had anticipated. Me personally, I don't have an issue with it, but it's just one of those things where, hey, you the guy now. This is put up or shut up now. They all see something in you. You got it or not.
I think like I had differences on how I felt I'm glad that they finally did this with Jay, where it was kind of like, all right, you finally going toe to toe, you throwing offense, but it was kind of like some of the shit where he was just eating a lot of Gunther's offense.
While
I felt
laughing at
like,
them.
yeah, like I mean, again, it was 50-50. Like I enjoyed some of it, and then some of it, I wish I would have seen this leading up to WrestleMania. You know what I'm saying? I wish I would have seen more of this character side of him leading up into WrestleMania. It felt like I don't know. It felt like the match was a little quick. I don't know if quick's the right word.
It didn't
Like,
feel like a fight.
yeah, they just was getting into everything really quick. Almost where I was like, damn, it felt like a kind of match where you like short on time. Like, did they cut their time on this match? But again, though, he had a long ass entrance way. That was a long entrance.
Oh,
Jay had to cover.
every PLE's been about 100 yards for the last like 3-4 years.
Man, but shit, I don't even think he came out the through the fans last year WrestleMania. Just walked down the ramp. This one was,
Yeah,
oof,
but either way, 100 yards is 100 yards.
man. Yeah, okay. Now with the incline, you want to talk about the workout? He got the incline and all.
he
They
he
got
he
the
he
stairs.
declined. He going downhill. It should
Yeah,
be
he got.
easier.
Yeah, okay. Bust his ass on the way down. But I mean, listen, the match. I thought too many use of the finishes. That's one thing. I get it. It's how his matches go, but too many spears. I would like those spears to feel special nowadays since we got Roman, Braun, Jay does it. Some of the females
So what
do
would
it.
you prefer? More what?
A
More
flash.
punches?
I mean,
More
I don't. It's just like you replace
I'm
the super kick for a spear at certain times. Like what would have been a super kick, just
but
let's
that's what I'm
trade that
saying.
in for a
Like
spear.
with what he's been under, like, what the hell do you swap it with to begin with?
I mean, this is your chance to become that brawler, tap into that brawler, throw more strikes. You know what I'm saying? More,
Okay.
not super kicks, but just more offense. Tap into that. You
I mean, I
know,
mean, I mean, this was supposed to be Crash Out Jay, which I think this was far from, unfortunately.
If I'm being all the way honest with you, brothers, I don't want to come off like Jay is not deserving to be the champion. You know what I mean? Roy Rumble winner. But I truly feel like it was a disservice to Gunter, man. Like how he had to lose the title
The
to me.
manner in which it
Shit
happened.
felt like a make a wish kid. Like Jay Uso is not no child. He is not no disabled kid. He is not. He don't have 4 fingers. Like why are we treating him like this shit was some make a wish kid shit?
Like
Like
I said,
he never beat up a
this should have
bully or
felt like
fight.
a
Like
fight.
I thought this penitentiary Uso in these niggas. Like he's from the bloodline. Why we gotta make him like he
Yeah,
can't beat up nobody?
right? That's
as
been
I was
my
saying, like I
issue.
said, this match needed to be more of a fight field. They need more physicality. This was just phoning, not even phoning it in.
I'm gonna be honest. You know when I knew this match was like, what do we do here? I'm gonna be real with y'all. in the beginning when Junta hit this man with a chop, and Jey Uso fired back with a hit, Gunter fell and rolled out the ring. I said, nah, we're not doing this.
Yeah.
Like, really, this is what we're doing. Like when they doing the back and forth, pitting each other, and he's the one to knock Gunter down. It's like, come on, I see what y'all trying to the picture y'all trying to paint here,
Right.
but why y'all gotta
That,
force it
the
on us?
power slam, the power bombs.
Why y'all couldn't just make it a classic tired out match like Jay made Gunther work his ass off, like you know what I'm saying, and then
They beat
caught him slip.
ass.
Yeah, like why do we have to do this? And then he got to his own move, the sleeper. He ain't even have him in the sleeper for 30
He
seconds.
got quick.
He ain't
Yeah,
even have
like
him in it for. Come on, man. This shit was made for him to get cheers like he was a Make a Wish kid. Yeah, his brother come out. Like, come on, man. I get it, but this is Jay Uso. He don't need that
There's
to
so much
me.
more they could have done.
Yeah, like he just could have been way better, man, in my opinion, man. But congratulations to Jay Uso, man. He's the champ. So shit, the crown get heavy. Let's see.
I don't know. I'm kind of with you after I think about it. It might not wholeheartedly hurt Gunther in the eyes of others, but for me, I just felt like this is not the story. I'm not investing in Gunther for him to be putting people over, bro. Never
In the
would Brock
in the
at the top
manner
of his game, bro. Never would Undertaker at the top of his game. Never would Austin. All of these top dog cats. I'm sorry, and it's not to diminish Jay, but like they not putting no Cinderella story, bro, on WrestleMania, bro. None of them.
in the manner in
Triple
which he
H,
lost this match
Shawn, none.
versus or on top of
Twice, bro. 2 years in a
Sammy
row,
beating
bro.
him last
Come on,
year,
bro.
like, where does he go from here?
I
I mean,
will
he could
say
go wherever
this.
he want. He's still a beast, bro.
He's still the longest reigning intercontinental champion.
Yeah.
He became the world heavyweight. He won King of the Ring. He was the King of the Ring. He won King of the Ring. He went from that. He won the World Heavyweight Champion. He became the World Heavyweight Champion. He had some couple battles with Damian Priest and all them. You know what I mean? Like, let's if we're keeping it real, Gunther has been on top for a minute. That's how I view it. You know what I mean? I agree with y'all too, also, but I feel like Gunther has been on top. Like he went from being an intercontinental to the
I
world champ.
I
So
mean, since
maybe
they re-signed him, he's been champion 25% of his career.
And maybe
right,
like four people
right.
beat him, 4 or 5.
But do this shift him into like I don't know how they playing with the brands. Do he get
This
involved
is
with the big
only like
dogs now? Like he got to go with Roman and them next. Like where do you thought? Like can I
this
get
is
him
only
involved with
like
some
the
Roman shit? Like some shit
fourth,
with these
maybe
niggas?
Jay's like the fourth, maybe the fifth person since he got signed to finish him via pinfall or submission. This is his very first loss to submission, I believe, since
Mm.
he's got signed.
And then I'm gonna be honest too. Aside from all of that, they stripping Gunther of everything that made him lit in my eyes. They stripped him of his team. When I mean his team, there used to be 3 of them. Then there was 2 of them.
Well, no, there were
Now
at least
there's
before.
4. Look, oh my, there was 4 of them. Then
Because
3.
when they
Then
first got
2.
got him
Like
paying for ring comp, you had Timothy Thatcher as well.
and the other dude, I
It,
forgot
it,
his
it it
name.
was him.
Damo,
Then it
right?
was Fabian,
Big
not Fabian actor, the dude that was Insanity.
Wolfgang. Was it
Yeah,
Wolfgang? Yeah. Like, yeah,
something
he
like
had a
that.
whole squad. Like, to me, Imperium would have meant something like, yo, he got at least Giovanni and Ludwig with tag team champions standing right by his side. Like, yo, we taking over the whole roster.
Oh, what could have been.
It's kind of like I'm okay with him. Like, if there's better stuff for him going forward, but it's just like you stripped him of everything, and now it's like again in NXT when he lost to Ilya and Braun Breaker, the losses he took was kind of like what Snakes explained earlier. He made them cats work, made it look good,
Him and Ilya had
banger.
a series of classics.
Sami
So
Zayn
I would
shit
say that
last year felt like a give, and this one too.
sometimes, like we talk about being team players and shit like that in the new red generation as far as WWE, how Triple H trying to roll shit. Like every time a loss is not always like a loss could be a win. Like you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
somebody got to be take that L. You know what I mean? Like CM Punk lost to Undertaker, but that's one of the greatest losses ever in WrestleMania history. One of the best matches ever. You know what I'm saying? Like him being on losing end is not always. It's just to me, I think the way they did the match could have just been way more quality. Like you know what I mean? Like
I think a
you
little
know,
bit of that is on him too. Like he should have not tapped so quick. I think to make
mm,
Jay look a little strong, he should have passed out for him. Like I don't know. if that was planned, maybe they thought it would have looked better. Oh, I just took all of these flash moves. I can't. Let me just tap out. But it didn't come across that way. It kind of felt like, "Well, I don't even want to be in my own finisher. Like, I'm out of here." Like,
If that
that's how
match
it
doesn't
felt.
open at night, do we feel like that, or it's because that's what we get first? Is it kind of more
I still
like
stand by this is one of the matches where because of how they projected Jay over the last 6 to 8 months, the fact that he chose Gunther, his back was already against the wall. So I still stand by the what I said earlier to you guys probably was there was never an appropriate response, and this is one of those things where no matter how Jay would have won, folks are going to shit on it regardless.
But to Snake's credit, now that I'm thinking about it too, the way that they set up this evening, right? Think about it. We just
mm,
ended on a note that was kind of, maybe if you're a Roman fan, like some of us in the chat, me myself, you kind of like, oh damn, you. I mean, I still love Seth Rollins too, so I'm not that much let down. But for the real people that probably don't like Seth, they kind of let down. Oh, but the J stuff got everybody hyped to start off the evening. Like that was like it started off. Everybody yeeting. He did the crowd entrance.
Yeah,
He
Jimmy come
did
out.
this, yeah, the good moment with his brother after. I think it was the match itself wasn't, but it was still a feel good moment. Got the folks excited. I think it was,
a little forced, underwhelming.
definitely, definitely.
Underwhelming. You you
Anticlimactic.
you you do a heartfelt promo in the ring talking about how you had to tell your mom that your brother was in the hospital, but then when you win the match, Jimmy just in the ring. I don't get no rollout. I don't get the update on Jimmy. What Jimmy was
Yeah.
hurt for, anything. But when you
All
win,
I
he's
said
just
was
in the ring.
15 stitches a couple weeks ago. That was it.
Yeah, like I just don't like those little gaps left open. It's just like I don't know. For me, I
It's
just be wanting
sloppy.
the whole thing sometimes, y'all. Maybe I'm too greedy. Maybe I'm too
No,
wanting to,
no, it came
Nah,
off a
but
like
little sloppy.
this was the problem when he won the Royal Rumble, in my opinion. It's kind of like we seen this for, especially I don't even know if it was him winning the Rumble or him losing to Gunther the week before in that Saturday night main
I
event.
think that was the
That's,
start of it,
yeah, the
and then
Saturday night main event shit. Yup.
and then they turned this into an attempt of the second coming of the Yes Movement, and I said it could have been that big. The last couple weeks of the build up seemed like we were getting to that road, and then what the match ended up being was, eh. And now folks may look at it as like between this match and the match with Jimmy last year, it's like folks may look at it as two back to back duds at Mania.
I know we're gonna probably get into LA Knight and Jacob shit, but like just to even try to like tie that you see how in the last couple of weeks they had the tag matches with LA Knight, Randy versus Solo, da da da, and LA Knight getting off and doing this thing. Like you didn't have to sell us that Jacob was a problem. You didn't have to fake that. Like tonight, when it was time to go, you seen Solo come out with him. Let's go. Like it's your time. Like you feel what I'm saying? Like and it was over.
Hmm.
You already knew. You already knew it was Jacob time. You already knew he was capable of. You didn't have to do all this. Oh, how's he gonna be LA Knight? Is he been? No. You know what I'm saying? So why with the J shit, just piggyback on that, I just don't why they had to make it like it's a Make-A-Wish kid rollout. Like, oh, he finally beat the bully at school.
That's,
They've been picking on me. Like, huh?
and that's been Jay's story all along within this bloodline shit, unfortunately. Which I
Yeah.
kind of like. I never understood it because it's like you said, they just came off of being Uso Penitentiary, locking down every tag team while Roman wasn't
Mm-hmm.
getting over as the big dog. Even when before they got to the
And nigga,
penitentiary,
if
they
you're the
had
right
the,
hand man, how can a right hand man be soft? HD, you the right hand man. He was the right hand man.
for a
How your right hand
reason.
man gonna be soft?
For a reason.
How we gotta boost up the right hand man to be like? Come on,
Yeah,
man.
bro, I'm there with you, and I've told this to Razor over the last few weeks. Like that, it just never. I understand that you got somebody got to tell the story, right? Like it's the same
Uh,
trope, different players, but it's like
uh,
why Jay? He's a
right.
like he's a history champion. He got mad history as a tag team champion, dominant competitor in that tag team division. Like all of a sudden, it's like he's a new guy, and we don't know that he could get wins and stuff. Like nah, bro, like we pushing that a little
One
too
half of
far.
the longest reigning tag team champions in history.
Yeah,
Like
like.
I'm a B1,000, and I'm not trying to say like I wouldn't want to see Jay beat Gunther head up or whatever like that. Like I said, the match could have went longer, could have got tied out. He could have beat him like that or whatever. But like, I wouldn't have been mad if Luke Kaiser turned on Gunther and that's how Jay won. Like, you
Right.
know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
I'd have been more. I would have been more intrigued with that ending. With you know what I'm saying, the way how y'all did him. That's just me. Like,
Nah, yeah. That would have also started a new story right there too, because I think we
come
kind of
on.
left with the question of where does Gunther go from here? Do they have a rematch? Does Gunther feel like, nah, you caught me off guard? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what happens
Or
there?
another one is what if Sammy screwed him over? There's a lot of ways you could have done different.
Hmm.
Word. Gunther could have dominated this whole match. Jimmy could have came out like, oh, Jimmy's back from the hospital. Then Luke Kaiser come out like, oh, helping his man. Then he turn on his mans.
Also, too, just to nitpick the match just a little bit, I thought
Mhm.
it was odd how like Jay got hit with the title belt. And again, Razor, I told you this earlier. They started speeding through things. It was kind of like I think they
Yeah,
could have took a
that
second for
that
this.
was the go home signal.
Yeah, the first count was like the first count was almost a 3 count. Like, oh, the match is almost over. He's on Gunter. Like, really? Out the gate?
Right,
Michael Cole, chill,
like,
bro. That's the
the
first
minute I ding
pin.
you with the bell, let's get out this bitch.
Word,
Yeah,
yo.
bro. And again, for that being the opening match of the evening, if you know, it was just a. I feel like I understand the message they was trying to drive, but it didn't come across. You know what I'm saying?
It
Shout out
should
to
have it
Patty
should have been
Melton
more
for
than
trying to
just a
do
feel
that.
good moment.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I think also that's what we understand too. Like it's been looking like that. Like if they can't really paint another picture right here, then it's looking like Jay was gonna walk home with the championship, which he did. And
And we weren't accepting that regardless. It's just like again, both of them are talented. It's like there's no reason why there shouldn't have been a fight. You made it look like it seemed like it was supposed to be a damn blood feud.
Like, if I'm being real, the Tiffany Stratton shit make like that. The shit they doing for Jay, like the Tiffany Stratton shit work because it's like when you try, like as much as they try, like Tiffany was the champ. And when you got into them promos with Charlotte, a legendary person like her, like you really had to like talk your talk and make it. She couldn't stand with Charlotte in that. It started to be like a mismatch, honestly. That shit got nasty in the ring with the person. So when they how she won the night, like I get that. You know what I'm saying? Like Charlotte like putting her over, like I get that. You know what I'm saying? Like that make more sense. You know what I'm saying? Like Tiffany, I feel like Tiffany was getting low key bullied in this promo. Am I wrong? Like I feel like Charlotte
Say,
was,
Jay and Gunther got the Mickey Mouse treatment.
yeah, man, yeah, yeah. Maybe they could have been the second match, not the first match. You could have threw the New Day shit first, got us ready with that, and then like gave us the Gunther
This
and
was a
Jay
lot
shit.
better than the world title match.
With
Not by
the tag
much,
match.
but
Yeah,
not,
now they did
not
their
by
thing.
much, but it was better.
Shit, Ray Phoenix was more exciting than that shit, man. Like I don't.
now this
Eric
is where
Collins.
this is where I'm gonna get to be a dickhead for a second. This is when I started to like tongue in cheek feel like, yo, this is kind of feeling like a regular PLE. Like I'm enjoying WrestleMania weekend. Don't get me wrong, but like if the part
Was
of me
this
had to
was the tag match the shortest match on the night? I think it
I,
was.
I told y'all though, it was off to lead up to that end. Like that main entree, man. We can't fool y'all up tonight and give y'all everything. Like,
The
right,
reason why I
right,
say
right.
short was we Snakes. We were halfway through the card, an hour into the show.
yeah. I mean, the triple threat started at like 10, no, 10, 10, right? That shit was like 40 minutes.
Yeah, and everything else was like 15, 10, 20 minutes.
Like, yeah, I seen like a timestamp tweet. Like some match was like 10 minutes, one was 16, the other one was 17. Like, yeah, they was like
There was
flying
more
through it.
time for the damn vignettes and the promos and commercials and shit than the actual show.
Mhm.
I felt
Yeah,
bad for the folks sitting there at Allegiant Stadium in Vegas
yeah.
because they were sitting
But
through a lot of dead air.
but I do feel like they brought it home with the main event. Like it
Oh yeah.
saved night one. Like I feel like niggas could complain, but you can't now. Like there's no how. Like and
So,
then you
so,
know you
so,
got tomorrow night. You know what I
so, so
mean? It's like
snakes. So snakes. So say you were attending that one night, and you get
mhm.
there at the very beginning. Over 60 to 70% of the time you're there, you're just staring at blank screens and nothing going on in the ring.
If we're being honest, we're in Vegas, nigga. Had the time of your life. Your niggas
Yeah,
is in the. Your niggas in the midst. Of, you niggas in the
look,
midst of.
with the
You niggas.
venue.
You niggas in the midst of 60,000 in Vegas. Like, nigga, I'm not mad at that. Nigga, take your time. This shit is lit. Like, I'm not like crying today. That's not. I don't think they was mad at all. Like, wow.
Think
I
about
think
it.
the
Think about
people.
it. It'll take you 10 minutes to get in line to go get a damn drink. By the time you get back from leaving to get a drink, it's probably half an hour past already. Ain't shit going on in the ring. You just watching or listening to random vignettes or whatever. Ain't nothing going on in the ring. Ain't nothing going on in general. It's just you just sitting there.
I
Some
love
folks
the.
pay 10 bands just to sit there and do nothing for over half the show.
I mean, you know, I don't really know what to say to that, man. I thought that the show was very. They coasted and it peaked when it needed to peak, and it did its
And
job.
again, but my point is
Night
it's different
one
watching
did its job.
from the TV. We're getting a different viewpoint. The folks who are there physically, they're just like, man. I know a couple times even in NXT they brought up the decibel meter. They claimed shit was going off the charts. I had my TV on full blast. It was damn near crickets. I'm like, come on now, don't lie to don't lie to us that we're smarter than that.
This was a great night.
I'm not saying it was a bad night. I'm just stating that like they're getting a little ahead of themselves by them getting away with doing the bare minimum on things that could easily be appreciated with more effort.
Well, well, you guys want 2 days. So this is the
No, the
product
fuck
that
I don't. With this current card, if it was one day, I'd have been
hold on,
perfectly
hold on.
fine. Ish, you just sitting there just laughing at this, aren't you?
Nah, cause I'm really thinking about. Nah, I'm really thinking about it, and I always like to play devil's advocate. Like, part of me is like, yeah, I guess we could have seen a culmination of more tease storylines. Again, I'll get to the Solo and Jacob stuff later. Feel good moment. They played it safe. We could have had Jacob not win a title, right? But again,
Or squash them.
I'm gonna stay on course. I'm gonna stay on course. There's years people been talking about, oh, where's the inclusion of the tag team? They include tag team, not the tag team people
I
wanted.
mean,
They wanted the
I said this year they brought in the wrong one.
Yeah, I was about to say that. It's just not the ones that you wanted, right? And I mean, honestly, too, though, this could be done for a purpose that we might have to just wait and see. I don't know if this ties or surpasses, but the New Day getting another championship just adds to what they already have. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Now it's a different story without beginning the full, which is fine. But like, what I'm trying to get at is like between the two nights, if you go back to one night, you could have anywhere from 8 to 11 matches on that one card. 11 to be very generous, but eight pretty much for the most part. And it comes
I
up.
don't want one night.
But I'm saying with the match that we have on this current card, if you cut back, make it one night, 8 matches, maybe 11, it comes off as a more quality PLE. Like I don't like this is one of those cards where I don't like that. So half the matches on each night, it's like it's like a random Raw or SmackDown. There's nothing special behind it. Even if you put some type of like short behind it, it's only going to go so far towards like again, it's just another day on TV. Like this tag match, for example.
I could tell, just like in my opinion, you had something going, and maybe the story they telling is just too magnificent, right? But like, CM Punk was a player that was caught up in this triple threat match. Did we did did he was he really needed? Sure, maybe,
No,
maybe not. Right. So you catch him, you tie him up in this shit to get his main event moment. But realistically, let's say had he really dug his heels into another good feud with somebody else, like you saying, to your point, maybe being a number one contenders match for you know what I'm saying? Things could, but it's a lot. I don't know, bro. It's a lot of moving parts. Hopefully I'm giving this year a pass to feel like last year was Cody finishing his story. This year is kind of like we're trying to get on some kind of path. I think next year is the real test of if this shit looks like this again, we might have to revisit the real conversations of 2 nights of WrestleMania and just have a one night shoot the best load we got rather than throw some stuff on there that's kind of like it feels forced. Like, oh, this kind of don't belong. Or like to my point earlier, we kind of seen some of the stuff on here. Like none of the
Right.
matches here felt like we seen Jay and Gunther at Saturday Night Main Event. We seen War Raiders and New Day on Raw just a few weeks ago.
Also, we just saw it less than 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, like what else? The only thing that was kind of fresh is the triple
Even
threat
LA
match.
Knight and Jacob to a degree.
Yeah, that happened. It just ended in disqualification. So 3 matches that's happened. You have Rey Mysterio was supposed to take on El Grande Americano. Would have been entertaining, but we know what it is, right? Sir Chad. They've been in the ring, so it's like, I mean, again, some things that match itself right there arguably shouldn't have been on the card. But we got the New Day picking up the victory. I was kind of surprised because in a fun way I had them winning, and I'm like, yo, it'd be dope if they win. They go to WrestleMania, get they win at WrestleMania, and
I'm just more surprised the match was as short as it was.
I like how they got out of there with the titles though, like kind of like a, oh yeah, we skated, we got this, we out.
Hmm.
Cause I'm really liking their character. Like at first they was giving them this like kind of like poop putt angle with nobody backstage, when like they're trying to be friends with everybody and nobody messing with. I like this where they kind of just like, yo, thank God for the New Day. Like that. Whoa, hold on. You saying that with your chest? I felt that. Like,
Did they
all
have that
right.
on a T-shirt yet?
I don't know. I like he said that. I'm listening now. So I'm really like, and again to what you said earlier, they won without Big E. I don't remember the last time they've been on a hot streak without him.
I don't think ever.
Yeah, so it's refreshing. People might not. I really didn't
It's
feel like this
different.
belonged on WrestleMania. I like that they got their moment. It's cool, whatever. But what I did enjoy, to be honest, what picked up for me was the female match, Jade and Naomi. They right there, them ladies, they got it going.
That I did.
There we go, right there. Got the
So
graphic
real
up.
quick, before we get into the match, how I feel about Naomi's new music?
Oh man, lovely. I like the attitude, the music, the I don't know if she was going for like a tribute to Owen Hart, but like kind of reminiscent with the caution tape. And I like how she
Oh, and
stylistically
hard
pulled it
shit. That
off.
was Orlando Jordan to me.
Oh man, he had the caution tape.
You never saw his debut in TNA when he came out, huh?
Nah, I
Oh,
thought you was talking about.
I got to admit, so again, the song he had was absolutely fire, but he's getting hoisted down from the rafters. Allegedly, he was butt ass naked, but he's coming down in caution tape that's wrapped around the cable line, but obviously the caution tape in his body.
I'm screaming.
And they go to commercial, and I guess they post a shot him, whatever, and then he walks to this couch with some other folks. He sits on this couch, and that's all we see, just him going to a couch. But it takes him about like 5 minutes to come down from the rafters. Just all you see is all I remember is the caution tape.
That's wild. I mean, listen, I just want to take my hat off to both ladies, but more like Naomi. I think she been at the top of her game for a while. Obviously, she's wild athletic and all the
This
good
is her best
jazz.
work.
This is her best work right here, bro. This right here got it. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, and again, she's showing a good side that she's playing both sides. Like she could be a dominant heel, and she could also play like that chicken shit when she has one right in the middle of a match. So again, she's doing her best work right there. Um, I don't know. I felt like Jade a little bit still needs. I don't know. It felt like she still needs a little, or maybe that time off kind of took a step back.
Well, remember this is her first singles match at WrestleMania, so It's different than when you win a trios. This is you dolo now.
Yeah,
You just got a taste of it.
Yeah, let me ask you that
Push.
question. It's sometimes, man, a lot of players can't. Sometimes you got to ride the bench. You can't get on the starting floor. Like I'm a battle
You gotta
rapper,
get a
right?
feel
I
for it
feel
first.
yeah, like I'm a battle rap, not to, just to make like. Sometimes I want to get on all the big cars, right? But then you got some people that just a tear but a couple. I mean, that people will say is a tear above me, like the Tay Rocks in them. So if they all on the car, like how's this space for me, right? But I may be deserving, you feel me? But I might have to. I can't get on these shits because all these niggas already got slots. You know what I'm saying? So I say that to say this, like last year. You ain't see no, know what I mean, like, yo, you ain't see them, you know what I'm saying? You ain't see the War Raiders and sometimes them niggas gotta get like they chance, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes these people gotta get their chance out there, you feel me? So the day one matches, like the New Day shit, Naomi, that shit, like Naomi came back too from what was she a champion where she was at before she came back to WWE? You feel what I'm
yep.
saying?
She was a TNA knockout champ, if I'm not mistaken.
Come on, she stayed patient. You feel me? Play a role. Boom. WrestleMania match. Jade. We was wondering what they gonna do. Her the tag team shit was a little You feel me? Then now we ended up here with this situation. It's like I just love how WWE have given chances to these young ladies, even with the roster being very like combated. Like you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
And also, again, folks forget Jade. She's still a rookie to the game. She's just dipping her toes into this.
and this is one of the
So
better stories they
imagine when
curated.
she owns her craft.
Facts. This is one of the better stories they curated too. Going into like we talking about the New Day. I felt like that match wasn't really well put together. Felt a little like short notice, but this has been brewing. Jade has been attacked for months. The stuff at the chamber, like this was well put together. So I'm glad that they got their spot on WrestleMania, whether it's night one. You know what I'm saying? They got their look. The match was good. You know what I'm saying? Little spots that looked uncertain, but again, to me, I thought they delivered the moves they was hitting. So it was even one. I don't know if Jade busted out that move. She did some kind of new move tonight. It was, you know what I'm saying? They was working out there
Hey, it worked and it looked good on camera.
for sure. And we got Jay picking up the victory. Like, where do you think we go from here? Do you think they possibly unfold some more story tomorrow?
Well,
Like again, I was talking about they kind of jumped into the triple threat ladies match on
we
SmackDown.
asked if Rhea or Bianca's gonna have a word in this match. I think Jade might have a word in the match that's gonna open tomorrow, which is Io, Rhea, and Bianca.
Mm,
That might be something we gotta keep an eye on.
yeah, because I think they just like kind of like if you might have not caught SmackDown or it kind of just so much going on over the weekend, it kind of probably just went to the back of the mind. But I kind of had to think about it like, whoa, hold on, that did happen where they can't they all was in the ring, like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, we ain't letting that slide.
yeah. Rhea got a little spicy. She might jeopardize her championship off that tomorrow.
Jade might try to swing on Bianca next or something. Who knows?
Right. Mm, oof.
Because Bianca's already been low key a heel on Raw, anyways.
I mean, and then they kind of planted the seed on SmackDown where like Naomi ran behind Bianca and Bianca didn't move and Jade was really like, yeah, you're protecting her, like you're protecting her. So I mean, there's some things to watch there too. And again, I'd like that like again they rocking you to sleep. They might put this match, which obviously this match needed to happen, but they're not putting it on the same night. So they kind of removing them from
The
night two
short
in your
promos.
mind. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh well, they had their match night
There's a
one.
part one of the story, then there's a part two. But you gotta pay attention to the filler episodes so that part two makes sense.
Yeah, man. So I really do enjoy what like they was able to just go from having the tag team championships on lock and we waiting for the story. The story was worth the wait. I enjoy where we at with it. I can't wait to see, what else. is gonna unfold there. Like I said, Jay Cargill picked up the victory, and the next match, I was definitely anticipating this, and it was a LA Knight versus Jacob Fa 2. Let me go and get the graphic up over here. I felt like going into this, I thought there was gonna be something going on with Jacob and Solo because just sort of based off things, they weren't on the same page the last few weeks. So I thought we might have seen some dissension unfold today. I was surprised to see Solo just like, I mean, Jacob did tell them the
Dr. Joy
last
at
time.
the start of the when they was walking out.
Yeah, I was surprised to see him and then just not even walk down the ramp with him. Like he honored his word. Like, all right, I'm gonna stay out this. Like, 'cause Jacob told him a few weeks ago, like, next time you better let me handle my business, stay out the way. And again, Solo let him do his thing. He didn't go out there. Tama didn't go. Tama got hurt on Friday with LA Knight hitting
Mama
him
is
super
in
hard.
story with a broken arm, thanks to
Yeah,
LA Knight.
yep. So they go LA Knight neutralizing Tama right there, and then it's just a one on. I thought they put on a better match than like I thought. I mean, I knew Jacob was gonna do good. Let me say that, but I thought LA Knight. I'm like, is he like what I'm
But
saying?
this is what I was referencing when I said when they brought the decibels meter whatever, and you see LA Knight came out with a Maserati, and it says that the decibel meter is overheating. That reaction was quiet compared to Jacob.
Man,
So that's why I was like, we're a lot smarter than that.
If there was one thing that I can nitpick with the WWE about for this WrestleMania card, Jacob is a superstar. We knew when his signing over that he was gonna get pushed. You know what I'm saying? Um, LA Knight, remember, LA Knight was like the main guy at one point when Roman was away. Like LA Knight really was trying to hold the company on his back,
And he
build,
peaked.
yeah, peak building itself up. So I understand giving him a WrestleMania moment, but Jacob is the future. You know what I'm saying? But I will say this: where was Tama Tonga? Like I
His nose
just
broken
don't.
off supposedly.
Huh?
In story, LA Knight broke his arm last on Friday night.
I just don't like. Before Jacob came, Tama arrived on bullshit. Like Tama,
He was talking
Tama
low.
has Tama has one of the most amazing entrances too. I would have loved to see his music entrance on the WrestleMania stage. Like his entrance is cold. Let's not forget, we just don't see his single shit as much because they always grouped up. But Tama would have been well to have a match in this shit too. I don't know why he's not involved, man. But he probably should have been in that fatal fall for that fucking that Braun break. You know what I'm saying? Like you got two Judgment Day niggas. Like, this shit like that. Like why Tommy ain't in that? Like I don't know, man. Like I don't know. If I want to be petty, I would have loved to see Tom on WrestleMania. That's basically what I'm saying.
I agree.
Feel me? We seen the solo outing. You know what I mean? But
Snakes, imagine if instead of New Day and War Raiders, we got Street Profits versus the Gorillas at WrestleMania.
The Street Profits, man, it's just something, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. Something
You still
about
got
them.
some of them?
Huh?
You
It
still?
just, it's like they the champs, but it's like the way they come out and I
They got
don't
a
know.
new look. They got new music. What else do they need?
I don't like the music. I don't like that shit. Y'all like that shit?
Look, you're the one that was supportive of Jeff Rebel.
I don't even know what Death Rebel is. Y'all nigga, every time I hear some
That was
music with,
making the music.
every time I hear
When me,
drums and bands
when
and
me
rock,
and D was
every
talking
time
shit
I hear drums, bands, and rock, and a nigga walking out, people say Death Rebel. I never know what the fuck that shit is. I'm from the block. I don't know. HD, do I know what the fuck Death
when me
Rebel is?
and
I
D
don't know
was
what the
talking
fuck
shit
Death Rebel is.
that
Like,
make the music, you
who
was
the fuck is
those
Death
people get
Rebel?
you hard on them.
Who
yo,
the hell is Death Rebel?
I'm fucking screaming.
And I've never met that
Oh
nigga. Who
my
is that?
fucking god!
I'm gonna come clean. I just be thinking that's a nigga that made somebody music or some shit. Like I don't know what the fuck Death
That's who
Rebel
does
is.
make the music.
Huh?
That's who makes their music for WWE.
Yeah, I thought a nigga rapped that. I ain't know a nigga. Like,
Fucking screaming.
HD, I swear to God. Who the hell is Death Rebel? Every time a nigga come out with some new music in his ass, niggas be like, "That's
Nigga be like
Rebel."
the rebel.
Yeah, I'd be like, "What? Like, who is that?" I'd be lost.
Yo,
So
bro, that
yeah,
fucking
bro.
We
got
trying
it,
to
bro.
tell your ass for the damn near year and a half. We've been trying to tell you.
All right, so
That's
who got the best Def Rebel song right now?
Aside from Roman, I don't know to be honest.
Roman is a Def Rebel record.
Yes.
Okay, okay.
Um.
Why we
Maybe
got these
Fez
terms? Like, we ain't say this shit in the 90s, HT, like when niggas come like a
because
Def Rebel record.
Jim
Like The
Johnson is
Rock. Do you
like
fucking
smell what The
older,
Rock is cooking? That's
like
not Def
yeah.
Rebel. Like, who the fuck is
Nah,
Def
like
Rebel?
like the latest Jim Johnston song. Like we wasn't
he's
like
that Jim Johnson was the GOAT.
he was, but nobody was like paying attention to every wrestler song. Saying, "Yo, you heard the new Jim Johnson song?" Like, come on, bro. Everybody,
But also back in the '90s, WWE was actually paying for licensed music on top of that. Like they
yeah,
was recruiting Method Man, they was recruiting Snoop Dogg, they was recruiting everybody back in the days, and they ain't
Motorhead,
trying to pay for
Triple
them
H.
more. They just trying to in-house that shit.
Yeah, Motorhead, Triple H. Lenny lent his voice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, three. He gave him three songs.
Yep,
Gave him the game, gave him King of Kings, gave him Evolution.
yep. Fire. Nah, I mean, some of them Def Rebel songs. You know what it is? They all kind of like
They all
sound
sound the same.
repetitive. Yeah, they sound repetitive. Like it sound like somebody music hit. You think it's somebody else coming out. You be like, oh shit, I got it wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't have a distinguished sound, distinct sound. Like
No, they do. It's just again, they know X amount of chords. That's it. It's all this shit's gonna sound the same. Like we said, everyone Judgment Day, all of them got the same similar type of tone. Even with Priest, Shinsuke shit sounds like a Judgment Day theme.
yeah, bro. They got certain got to start that when you hear the start of the music, it's symbolic. Like that's what Jim Johnson did. Well, you heard the Mick Foley, the car shit, Stone Cold, the glass.
Okay, so to Snake's question earlier, aside from Roman, you can argue that Braun Breaker's theme is fire because again, it's distinct. When you hear it, it sounds like him. It's unique.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. There was somebody
But
else's
again,
song. I just can't think about it. That's kind of slick for a Def Rebel. So I'm like, okay.
AJ's is CFOs. Um, but yeah, but again, it's a lot of their shit since they've been there has been ass. Because again, it either sounds the same or it sounds like a Dollar
Who
Tree
shit is
AI
Ray
track.
Phoenix? Who shit is Ray Phoenix?
His is Def Rebel.
Oh yeah, Ray Phoenix shit kind of fire. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, same with Pantas. That's Def Rebel. Um, yeah, and anyone that's been there in the last like 5 years is gonna be Def Rebel.
Yeah, I don't like. Yeah, they. That shit just came. That Def Rebel term. But yeah, nah. That making me mad, low key. Like Def Rebel. Like we need to start going back to the names for the niggas records. Like this shit. Like come on.
And that's the problem with everyone's theme song because again, the last person that uses an actual band is Randy Orton.
Nah,
Like we
you
CM
can't
know
be
what?
Punk.
giving new rap
You know
superstars AI songs. Like these is AI. Like we can make
I'm
these
yep.
shits.
That's what I was telling
Might
Razor.
as well be AI.
Now you know what's the problem too, bro? They make a stock load of songs. It's not really made for this wrestler. They give it to this like AJ Styles song. As far as it sound for him, it wasn't made
Mhm.
for him.
Yeah, he was there for James Storm.
Nigga, that new Judgment Day is trash. But they don't go back to the ocean. Oh, I need to go back to that with the shit with the top. Like that shit was unique. They got this
But
new
but
What?
like
but,
rock and
but,
roll shit. Like what's that?
but again, the first Judgment Day song is a licensed song by this band called Metal Link. Is the folks that do Edge's theme song. Again, they ain't trying to pay for licensed music where they can get it in house for free. That's their problem.
Like fucking Bailey got the same music as Damage Controllers. Like shit crazy. And they all start off like Seth Rollins. So, they got the little fucking like shit. Wow, bro. Like I don't know,
Seth
bro.
Rollins got the best theme right now.
You know
His
who
shit.
got it? I got you right now. Trick Williams. That's it for me. Man, Roman Reigns, but Trick Williams. If I'm gonna just throw a little. That whoop that trick. They I don't know. It's something magical
No,
about.
but here's the thing though, like it's just a beat. But again, like, does the crowd and Booker T make the song what it is, or would it be fine on the main roster on its own?
I ain't gonna lie, my bro. That's the magic of music, bro. When our ancestors was out there rocking to the drums and all of that good shit, bro. That's what it was, bro. That's the power of the beat, bro. And then us as the human, we lay down the voice on it. The crowd, they bring that shit to life. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Like what's that song? Snake
Yeah,
Foot,
yeah, bro. It should sound corny what I just said, but that's real facts, bro.
or even with Lyra when they all do the woo.
Yeah, bro. Real talk, bro. Even like Obafemi. Oh, oh, like it. Then it kind of sounds like they.
Or Braun with the dog barking.
Yeah, bro. The crowd, you can't help what the crowd like puts the life into the music too. Like the beat is one thing, but if the crowd feel it, they gonna feel it, baby.
That's fair.
Yeah, they gonna feel that. I do think that shit too. I felt that about Trick Shot. I was thinking about his shit like, damn, his shit is kind of very like it sounds like an instrumental that you kind of just let ride out, but it kind of got like the like that little trumpet that start dun, 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 or whatever that is that they got in there.
It's something so you let the beat hit and then you wait for the next wait for it to switch up and then you start freestyling. It's one of the beats.
Yeah, and the crowd just make it lit, like you said, Booker, everything coming organic, like yeah, it's fire. I mean, it's kind of like back in the day. You seen the shit happen with Kurt Angle. His
You suck.
Yeah, like I don't know if they wanted that to catch on in a weird way or if it just magically happened. Like the crowd, it went with the beat. You suck, you suck. Like it's crazy. I kind of what you miss more, just to like real before we get up off the entrance song. Do you miss songs that had like real people singing over them?
Yes,
Okay.
because again look at the Triple H's with Motorhead. You had Saliva with Batista. You had a couple of different bands with Christian, Jeff Hardy. You have Ref Theory with Randy Orton. You have Downstate with Cody Rhodes. You had Downstate with Dolph Ziggler and Zack Ryder. Essentially, uh, at one point you had Method Man with Undertaker. You had Disturbed with Steve Austin.
Yep. I just wish there was room for a mixed. Like you see how Shawn Michaels, that's him on the track. Like that's like I hear Jay Uso. It's just me Uso. Like you hear him on the
Or
track.
Cena on his song.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And then now we got room for, like you said, I want to hear a real song, or at least a real band that made the song for the wrestler. Like that's dope. Like Batista's song is one of the most fire. I walk alone. Like what? You want to work out, get up, and like any kind of
Hmm.
game you want to play, or any kind
Or even
of
Eddie basically just say a few words over his songs.
Yep. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's a room for the Don't just give characters regurgitated, recycled shit. That don't sit right with me.
Jericho would break the walls.
It don't sit.
We
Yeah,
can go on and on with this
yeah, bro. And it's
because
some.
it solidified the character's identity.
Yes, bro. That's what's the magic. Like, can't just be going out there to no random jazz that like, cause the wrestler ain't gonna feel it. Like, yeah, it's you know what I'm saying. You know, I mean, we working the gimmick here, right? But still, it's like you want to feel and believe in the gimmick. You don't want to just have some jazz that don't even feel like you can't even get right to this. I can't even bust a funkadactyl dance to this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
And that wasn't even their song originally.
right?
That was a recycle song, believe it or not.
Norman Smiley, right?
Yeah.
Yup. Yo, Big Streets, what's the word, baby? Like, I give it to Jacob 522 too. Like, he go out there and do his stuff, like the boogeyman
His little
dance.
tribute to the Boogeyman.
Yeah, like, but even them, they do a good job too. Like Solo's music is fire too. I like his song. You know what I'm saying?
Again, Thomas, we want to hear more of. Um, who's another one? Again, the American made him like you touched on because again, it reminds us of Kurt Angle.
Yup.
I mean, the YS6 theirs is technically licensed by Code Orange, but still, again, it's different.
Yeah. I mean, look, CM Punk being able to use the cult of personality after all of these years is still magical in my eyes. Like I never take things for granted. Like people think
Mhm.
yeah, you could just walk around here and just use it. That people don't be knowing that a certain thing, like you said, the licensing, whether it's up to WWE not wanting to pay the extra bucks, whether it's
So,
that they
so
can't. And like you know what I'm
you
saying?
you, you want on that note, you want to know something funny? You know what Conan's theme song when he walks out AAA
What's that?
is Eye of the Tiger
Fire.
because AAA don't license it, but then again, at the time they'll license any song again because again it works with the dude's gimmick for
Right.
La Parka back in the day, and I know they touched on with the new La Parka at the last Mania. They used Thriller by Michael Jackson, and AAA will pay for the song.
That dude Grado, man, he used to come out to the Madonna song. Like
Yeah,
that's upper
but
echelon.
like a prayer.
Yeah, that's top tier work right there. Like, hold on.
But again, but again, the song gave the gimmick a personality
Yeah, bro.
and brought
That's
it to
all I'm
life.
asking for. That's all I'm asking for. Again, it make
Well,
no
sure,
sense.
Hogan and Real American by Rick Derringer is another one. Or,
Like
or
Ronda
when he
Rousey,
or when he's Voodoo Child by Jimi Hendrix, Ronda Rousey with Joan Jett.
bro. She has such a fire song, and she ain't even. Shorty used to just rush to the ring. You heard? Like the hell,
Or again, back in the day, CM Punk had This Fire Burns. Drew McIntyre had Broken Dreams.
man.
At one point in time, Rey Mysterio's or actually both the songs were by POD, but still,
I think it was good though to hear Jacob.
Mark Henry had 3-6 Mafia.
Yeah, it's fire. I think it was good that Jacob got his moment, his entrance. You know what I'm saying? And he wasn't at somebody's corner this WrestleMania. I mean, this is his first WrestleMania, but I'm saying they could have used him as like a supporting cast. He was like a main feature on this, getting a championship match, his first WrestleMania, and he picked up the victory, clearing both of those Samoan moves. So, what's the name of his finisher? I don't even know, but he cleared both of them things with ease.
Oh, he's the best moonsault ever.
Yeah, like now you see that springboard to me look way better than the box jump elbow drop LA Knight does.
Yeah, because again, it's just one person, unfortunately, is more athletic than the other. It happens in life.
And no
Now, I
funny
will say
thing
this:
too.
that elbow that Ellen I used today was probably his best one ever.
Yeah. And that was the best BFT he ever delivered too,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Now, nothing against Logan Paul, and other folks, but again, maybe he just been practicing on how to like get it just right. But again, we all knew going into this was Jacob's time. Like he's
I'll
at
be
that point to
honest,
where
I
he's just
knew it.
undeniable.
And this is why I say safe. I think what you just said, we all knew. I would have liked to see something different because I think he's so great. He could have won a championship on SmackDown. I mean, do we? I've said this to you before. Do we need everybody winning a championship at WrestleMania to justify a WrestleMania moment? Like,
No, but this is one of the few ones where it was acceptable because again, it was either you let it go as long as it did, or you make it like a 30-second squash match, which would have been what was everyone was expecting.
nah, I
So
thought this is a perfect time to the Solo and Jacob stuff. But again, we don't want to give them everything in one weekend. I understand that. You know,
maybe that's a move for SummerSlam. Who knows?
or I'm even thinking this soon as Friday, bro. We gotta think like, you know what I'm saying? They gotta have a oh shit I mean, this is just me thinking. What's the oh shit moments for Monday and Friday, right? Like, there's gotta be some.
It depends on what happens tomorrow.
Right, and yeah, you're right, cause Cody and them on SmackDown. But I think like yeah. I mean, I
As of
think
right now, if I were to guess what's going on Raw, I would definitely expect some type of segment, whether it's in the ring or backstage, with Roman and Jay.
Yeah.
Off the rip, that's about all I can anticipate right now. But also, for the pre-show for Stand and Deliver, we saw Tatum Paxley and Gigi Dolan become number one contenders, and they will face the winners of tomorrow's women's tag match on NXT this Tuesday.
Nice, nice.
But again, we shall see what happens with that. But as far as back to this match, it's like, I mean, if it was anything shorter, I mean, I think it would have been more detrimental to LA Knight. This one's going to be fine. Now, the question is, before we get to the draft again, who's physically going to get this damn belt off of Jacob Fatu,
I
aside
think
from maybe a Solo
Braun,
Sokoa? Huh?
him, I said Braun Strowman. Hear me out too. I don't know how healthy he is, but Bronson Reed.
Again, either one of those, I guess. But again, Bronson Reed's a Raw guy. Now Braun Strowman, that'd be fun to watch because they've been having a little story with him for a minute. But again, it's either him or Solo, as far as I know. Maybe Randy, maybe. Yeah, but that's
I'm
gonna be the
thinking,
fun
I'm
part.
thinking a scenario. I mean, like, if you really want to milk, nah, I mean, you want to just drain this out, you could. I'm thinking Tamatunga could possibly get,
I was thinking him too.
yeah, throw him because he's kind of been him and Solo been in this. They haven't been really been used, but sparingly. And then if you want to hold off on Solo and Jacob, because I think that's the real bigger matchup because they got like this power struggle. It's kind of obvious that Tama's just riding out with whatever. Like he's like riding with Solo. It seems like more like he was riding with Jacob, but Solo came back, and now you see him more with Solo again. So I'm
Yeah, but
keeping
that's
an
gonna be
eye
one of
on
those
that.
again. Jacob could argue, "Hey, if you ride with him, you just get hurt. When you ride with me, was no one was touching us."
Right. So it's definitely something to watch there. I mean, it's even I didn't think about it until now, but why weren't they all together to begin with, right?
Well, when Jacob walked out at the start of the match,
No, on Friday when Tama and Solo were together, arriving to the arena.
that's a good question. But then again, there's been a few times where Solo and Tama have rode separately from Jacob,
Right. So
and
I'm
folks
keeping an
also
eye
wondered
on
why.
that. Cause again, when Solo took his hiatus, it seemed like Tama was on board with Jacob of being mad at Solo. Ever since
Right.
Solo came back into the fold, he kind of just quietly, riding with Solo again. It was even times where Solo was touching Tama on the chest, letting him know, and remember Tama looking at him like unsure, and now it's
Like, why are you touching me?
right, and now he's kind of just riding with him, like, and but to your point, riding with Solo. Look, Jacob could bring it up, like, bro, you riding with him? Look at what happened.
Yeah, right with him got you beat up.
Hmm.
But again, I'm just curious as to where does Tongaloa fit in all this currently,
He doesn't, unless he's part
which
of,
is alarming to me.
yeah, unless he's part of, unless there's a part of a plan to really make Jacob babyface and that version of the bloodline Solo and the Tongans continue without Jacob. Let's say they kind of like, nah, you
I
really
think you
try,
almost have to make him a babyface at this point.
yeah. And I
Because
feel like
otherwise, what are we
he's
doing?
been, yeah, like he's kind of like inching there every week, and it's just he's still in this group that, again, I don't want to be the impatient, but I'm just looking at. I honestly feel like the bloodline story has went far off course, and that's okay, whatever
Uh,
the case may be. But I think it's gonna be like it's weird when you have situations like this in limbo, like. is Solo and Jacob really gonna go, or was that y'all trying to see what's better? You know what I mean? And then this situation presented itself.
And this could be something even as simple as who would change in the game plan when stuff's getting finalized, and it's like again maybe this Jacob was always the move, but everything else just said, "Hey, let's try this because why not?"
And I'm gonna be honest, I need WWE if they want. This is just a sidebar too. If they want the tag team division to be taken serious, we gotta stop with the recognition of, oh, this is his first singles champ. A championship is a championship. Or in my eyes, it should be that. The only championship that should hold the top is the heavyweight because that's the top food chain. But like,
Well,
to
it's also so if you're attacking this your first go at it, I ain't got no problem with it.
right,
But I see your point with everything else
yeah, like, cause he kind of won the
because it
tag
comes
team
up as a
belts, and
participation trophy.
yeah, that's what it feels like sometimes. Like, oh well, we're gonna act like he never won a championship before, and this is his first singles gold. Well, he won the tag team belts and kind of just gave it to the. He had to give it because Solo said give it up.
Yeah,
We know he could win gold. Jacob is like the new Stone Cold. He's a bad guy who's becoming a vigilante who loves the crowd. I feel like he was so,
possibly
yeah, he was so undeniably favored by the crowd when he came in that it's kind of like it's
because
hard
he
to
comes off as
position.
real,
Yeah,
and that's not just because of his background, whatever. It's just the character. It's just real.
and then I look back to that one promo when he did when Solo left, he did try to come at the fans like, yo, I'm tired of the
I'm
disrespect.
tired of disrespect. Yeah,
And I felt like that was the one promo that I felt like really didn't hit. And then he got back to business doing him after that. Like they kind of probably told
yep.
him to speak on something that they should have not had him do.
Just be you.
Yeah, because obviously the crowd is loving you. So running that angle, oh, we tired of it. Like it seems like what? What are you talking about?
Right.
It's just also I like to see where his character develops from here because I feel like it's such a short time. I've seen his character develop maybe 2 to 3 times already. Where like he's this unstoppable guy. He's like the prayer, like I love you, Solo. Now he's a real person, like you said, it's real. It's
And
like
and you've
Solo.
already beaten them.
Yeah. So I mean, it's very interesting. I hope that if they do him and Braun Strowman again, though, I hope they don't. How can I say it? Do too much. Like if Braun isn't able to capture that from him, because it's their rivalry is still so fresh, and they've already almost did everything. They did the last man standing. Like
Yeah, they already had the blow off.
yeah, so it's kind of like
And then what? Didn't they have a street fight from a South Man event?
yeah.
Yeah. So again, what else is there to do?
And Jacob picked up the victory in that one.
No, that first one wasn't it a no decision, something like that,
I know their
or
last man
no,
standing.
I'm talking about a Saturday Man event.
Nah. Jacob won that one.
So everything that happened that I remember happened after the match.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
So again, it's gonna be interesting. I want to see how I thought. Part of me feels like the United States Championship is a little bit of a odd choice for them to like put on a bloodline member as the first belt. I could be wrong with that,
And
but I don't know.
I mean, I don't think that matters too much. It's just one of those. It's like I think it's more so A, how we got there, and B, who the opponent was at that moment in time. And again, could you have done more to build everything? Absolutely. Yet they chose not to. Instead, they went a different route, and somehow we're going to tie that up soon, hopefully.
Right, because if I look, I mean, again, because of the whole branding and all this extra jazz, but we've seen Jacob and Braun Breaker in front of each other. We've seen the whole
You know,
Jay,
we see Jacob win convincingly.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
So,
so
so again, is that the move? Do we go with something different with maybe again a returning Oscar Black, maybe a potential debuting Jeff Cobb? I mean, do we have to go with what we've already seen? No.
I think the one that if he would have been on Raw, him and Braun Breaker had legs.
Yeah, but I mean that's one of the matches where I don't want to see either one of them moves anytime soon, especially in a match like that.
But fucking Braun Breaker already did the job for Jay. That's my problem with that. Like if we
Yeah,
gonna like,
that's the other point.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's all right now. Like they not building Braun. I mean Braun to me, and I feel like we kind of penciling him in to lose this weekend too. So it's like, you know,
Well, I mean, Braun versus Jacob is different than Braun versus Jay.
now I would have not. I would have. I'm there with you. I think I would have been okay if you put Jacob as one of the four participants in that match and still have that match as is and maybe take out whoever may be
I
a
wouldn't I, would,
bencher
I
or
wouldn't even go that far because again, and especially with hindsight, the way everything's been laid out, you're kind of putting someone in a situation where they're just gonna get fucked.
yeah. I like now you get fucked. Somebody got to get fucked
No,
because
no, no, but I think we're looking at it at two different viewpoints. 'Cause I'm looking at terms where it's like, for example, tomorrow's four way. We can easily see either person walking out with the IC title. Where if you would have put Ellen out in a four way tag match, Ellen and I would have been the one that said, "Hey, you're the one that's gonna get fucked over," and that's that. And again, that kind of would have did more harm than good as far, especially with LA Knight, because especially with how many resets he's had. He's had about as many resets as Shinsuke at this point.
nah, I'm not calling for LA's match to been the fatal four. I just think looking back, like I'm gonna look
I'm
back
saying,
and I'm gonna
I'm
be
saying
like,
as an example.
oh, okay, yeah. I'm just looking back. Like when we look back, Jacob's first championship that is gonna be a United States one, and to me, the United States belt is kind of history, but in WWE's hands, it hasn't been as important as the in WCW's hands.
I mean, it's been close a couple times aside from Cena. It's
Right, right.
just it's been a while since it's been treated as respectfully.
Yeah, so I just want to see the direction. I hope this isn't just hot potato. They got him holding it for a few, and then Solo's gonna cost him next week or something in a whatever match. You know what I
Right.
mean? That's the only thing I'm really at with it. But we did get
That's
Fatu.
fair.
I was hyped. I was hyped when he won the championship.
Everyone was,
Hell yeah.
and this is probably one of the more obvious calls of the night. Like this is what needed to happen. This is what should happen, and this is what we got.
Yep. And then moving
And,
on.
and like I said,
Hmm.
I'll also just one last thing. I'll stand by this. It's just the fact that the match went as long as it didn't do that much damage to LNI because again, if it was a squash match, that would have killed them.
Yeah, nah, that gave LA time to work, look good. In fact, I thought it was one of his better looking matches, to be honest.
Right. I agree.
Yeah. But we didn't get Rey Mysterio. He was out due to, I guess this is a legitimate injury.
I heard otherwise.
Yeah, it was kind of weird how like everything
Oh,
kind of happened. But talk us through it, man. What did you hear on your side?
I mean, folks were saying that he's not actually injured. This was just purely just part of Phoenix's welcome wagon, essentially. Like, hey, you pull up, you're gonna be at WrestleMania. Your brother's already on the card anyways. Let's get you on the card too.
Mm.
Which again, I'm not mad at, but I mean, if this was a move all along, you could have easily incorporated this in the story a lot sooner than when you did. again, this is one of the parts where I feel where they got a little lazy on the card, and I don't think they realized that they got lazy.
I thought it was a whole. I thought honestly this whole thing was bizarre to be honest. Like things are not really tying into me yet fit for me yet, except that the fact that you got Americano going after luchadors. That's the only thing that ties in. But I'm dating back to like why hasn't he gone after Penta yet? If that was the real loss that bothered him, you know what I mean?
Well,
And
like, again, that's because they're trying to prove it's not Gable.
right.
But and also, I mean, you going after the goat essentially in Ray, so that could be why. But again, it's like there's a few other ways that could have gone that would have made it better. But here we are.
Yeah. And obviously, like you said, we got Ray Phoenix as the replacement in the match. And I think honestly, you could. I this is where things messed me up. Americano changed his gear color, right? So to me, I felt like
Did
they
he?
was yeah, he had on some red jazz. Like it was like he had on the same color
With the
Ray
boots?
Phoenix. Nah, the whole singlet was red. It was like red and
I,
orange.
I, I thought it was red, white, and blue to be honest. But then again, I mean, it could have been the sun glare from my TV, but still, it's like I thought it looked the same thing he's always had on. The only thing I thought was different was the backside of the straps to where this one covered more of his back than anything else.
Nah, he had on some. It felt like he had on the same colors as Ray Phoenix.
Interesting.
Yeah, and that kind of threw me off. I was like, well, what's going on here? Like, you know what I'm saying? But that's all it was for me. Let me see. I'm trying to find a picture. I think I found one over here.
I was a little underwhelmed by the match, to be honest.
Well, hold on. Pardon me for that right there. Yeah, so look, I mean, he did have the red, white, and blue mask on. The gear, it looked like they got the same colors on to me. I was like, it kind of threw me off for a second. So it felt like a legitimate Ray might have been injured. But I do see also the plug and play, the little finesse. Because Ray, I found it weird that for somebody that might have gotten injured, like they still chose to like put him out there, or he chose to go out there, still promo, stand around on the kickoff, announce the AAA announcement. I thought this was a good match. I don't know where we going with the story. Ray Phoenix takes the L. They continuing this jazz with the whole plate, the whole metal plate and the mask stuff.
I mean, the only way I see this panning out is if, again, if the move is him versus Ray, you go in apuestas match, so mask versus mask. But other than that, it's just like, again, just get this done on a Raw and just be done with it, unfortunately.
I think this shit became more gimmick when the this little metal plate stuff. You think it was over?
Yeah.
I mean, I wanted like I enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong, but then when I'm like, I'm always looking at the both sides of the coin. Like I'm looking at the in ring work that I just witnessed, and then I'm looking at the story business of it, right? So I'm kind of like, I feel a little lost. Like I don't understand. I legit, I'm concerned that this might be a running rib right here, the Grande Americano.
Who knows? You're just saying it's a red because we got Gulf of America back.
Like, bro,
Hate
something's going on here where like,
Yeah, shit's funny.
man, it's just for somebody, I would think like Gable would be primed to be in a you know a bigger spot. This is an alright spot. You know what I'm saying? But I think
I get your point. I mean, again, for what he's done the last year, you would assume he'd have been rewarded with something better than this.
yeah, I mean, and then it's you know what it is too. I don't even think I think it's the constant character change. Like just when I was getting on board with the stuff he was helping Sami Zayn become a better, like it was like he was in real coach mode. Like we seen him with American
From
out.
that to the stuff with Otis, and then fast forward to this where supposedly he was going to learn the dark arts of lucha, and then we come back to this.
Yeah, it's like, damn, bro, like can he really put his feet into one thing, and let's see what that can do.
Can we rock again? If with as many Easter eggs as we've been given, could we? We only wonder what would have happened if we stuck with one of those ideas in the past.
Yeah, bro. Cause think about it, like he really helped Sami Zayn. He facilitated, helped Sami Zayn win against Gunther. Sammy felt like pretty
Technically,
much,
yes.
yeah, like he felt like Jay Uso felt tonight. Like he couldn't go into WrestleMania beating Gunther. Gable had to whip him into shape. Like, nah, you could do it, bro. Let's get it.
I'm going to get you there.
Yep. And for a
And
baby
then
face, that was so dope.
and then we teased him breaking up with Otis in that match, and then did we ever get a one on one between them? I don't think so.
Nah.
Yes, and that was the hottest shit on Raw, besides from Judgment Day at the time.
And then
And
mhm.
it's ridiculous.
We could debate like, oh, what we lack in heels or baby faces at whatever time. But this time,
When on several occasions when he easily had one of the easily top three, maybe top five hottest stories in the entire company, and we're not capitalizing on it, you're leaving money on the table.
yeah,
You're leaving a lot of money on the table at that point. It's just like not only that, you're preventing someone from maybe elevating themselves and breaking through the glass ceiling and possibly unveiling a new level of potential that we didn't know we had in them.
bro. I think and I'm gonna jump out the window right now and say it. People were organically behind Chad Gable defeating Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship more than they were
Most
behind.
definitely.
You feel me? And that's because the story that was told there for Chad was
You had
fire.
us laughing kids sitting front row.
Come on, bro.
If we weren't beating them then, what the hell are we doing? Like, come on now.
And again, you don't have a baby
This,
face
this,
like that for a
this is one of those near misses where this is as bad as Drew McIntyre losing to Roman in his hometown. Now, granted, what we got out of Roman was something unprecedented, but again, that was a flash in the pan compared to the landscape of everything else. But this was just as bad as that, in my opinion. And again, it shouldn't be the case because Chad's easily pound for pound one of the best in the world, respectfully.
yeah. I mean,
And
this is
that's bell to bell in the ring. That's on the mic. I mean, shit. I mean, if he was 6'1" or above, shit, he'd probably be world heavyweight champion right now.
yeah, bro. I mean, I can't say enough good things about Chad Gable. I feel like he's one of the few people on the roster, and when I say few, it's only because the main eventers could do it, where he could play heel or babyface. He's been great at both. But I think he's like such a natural heel. Like he's just become such a like he remember when he had long hair, he looked like somebody you could cheer for. Now he looked like
Hmm.
somebody you just want to punch in the face. Like look at this jerk
And,
off.
and again, and it's something as simple as becoming comfortable in your own skin.
Yeah, man. He's so great. I love Chad, and I mean, I want to see, maybe this is he got to do the good stuff right now, some more good work. But I'll be disappointed if throughout all of these last 2 years of this top tier work, he's been in the best shape of his life. If nothing comes out of this,
Doing the best work of his career.
yeah, I'd be very shocked if nothing comes out of
It,
this. Like,
it would definitely be one of the bigger missed opportunities in the history of the company. I'll stand by that right now.
Well, it's like again though, I feel like we always say there's got to be that one match on the card that you can either sit there throughout the whole show. Or you could choose this time to go to the bathroom, get some more drinks, get some more merch. I think unfortunately this match right here served that purpose. It could have been this or the tag team New Day for some whatever, you know.
Unfortunately, yeah, and that's kind of how I approach it. Again, no shame. It's nothing against the folks involved. It's just it's the story with the least amount of mileage behind it. And again, it's nothing against them. It's just the way stuff was planned out.
Definitely, bro. And then we
Again,
get
could have been done better, absolutely. But again, we didn't get that.
I mean, hopefully though, I'm gonna say this. I hope that now with this announced acquired AAA partnership, whatever that jazz is, maybe we get some more storyline as to who exactly Chad Gable got a contact from Dom. You know, maybe we get some Conan drops. Some now we could get some.
That
You know,
also we didn't touch on with this and with the acquisition. There was one individual that was in attendance for this match, and that is one of the current mainstays of AAA and one of the fastest rising stars in world wrestling in general, and that's Hijo de Vikingo.
right? I was surprised to see him there. Big facts. Which we've
Uh,
also joked around and said, could he have been behind the first or one of the people behind the Grande Americano match when this first thing took off?
and I felt like I can make a case based on like again the body composition and a couple other variables that maybe it could be him or it could have been him at one point in time.
I'm always, I mean, it could have just been extra talent, but I always wondered too if they all gonna do a deep fake with that situation. Remember, Chad Gable was getting interviewed by Kathy Kelly, and you see Grande Americano being hauled out.
So are you hoping for one of those things where it's Conquistador 1 and 2?
Yeah, cause again, then then I'm invested with his legs. Like if there's a scenario where they're in the same
Back
room,
in the days where it worked for a fake King, where it worked for a fake Undertaker.
yeah, man.
May 19th.
It'll be dope too, cause then he could really play into it. I think you know what hurts it a little bit too, that Michael Cole is kind of just shitting all over it, and not in a bad way, but in a playful way. You're like, oh yeah, that's Chad Gable. Like it'll have a fun moment if they both in the same room and kind of Cole is left speechless, like what? Or he's still, nah, I don't believe it. That's got to be Gable still. You know what I'm saying? Like it
That's
just be
gotta be
fun.
Kane.
Yeah, that's got to be Gable. It'll still be fun to me in that degree. I don't know, but I was surprised to see Ray Phoenix take the L. I thought just being shot right into this spot, they was gonna let him pick up the victory right here. I thought maybe an
Nah,
unmask and a Gable or whoever's under this heat.
if anyone's gonna unmask him, it's gonna be Ray. And this is just so that, like I said, maybe this could have been part of an incentive for Phoenix. Um, and again, this is maybe more to establish the character of El Grande Americano.
That's what it's looking like. To me, the most interesting part of the night after all of this, like after all the matches we watched, I think I texted this to you guys. This match just became much more interesting for me. At this,
And like I said, this match particularly could have went very well, or it could have been an absolute train wreck because of how personal they had gotten the last 2 weeks. So
I
again, this again, I was excited for this match, but I was also concerned for it for those very reasons because it's like, especially on Charlotte's behalf, it's like you should know that never mix business with personal. Your father taught you better than that. And this match got a little snug a few times.
it did, and I felt like you know, to anybody that might be a critic, go back and watch any Charlotte. I felt like she did nothing different. Maybe she, you know, leading up to it in the weeks, she might have, you know, did that big dog veteran move, that bully move, some would say to Tiffy. But I think in ring, I don't really think she went out there and did something that she would have not did in any other matches she's had. To be honest, like, it looked like a standard good. I've even said this to my wife when I was watching. I was like, "Yo, this is why Charlotte's the fucking goat because
Well,
regardless of
again,
what
again
they put
in
on the
ring,
floor."
in the ring, I wasn't down in Charlotte. I'm talking about again the mic set, but as far as the match in general, one of the biggest questions I had was Charlotte's gonna bring the physicality. That's no question. But is Tiffany gonna step down or step up to that level of physicality?
Oh, I seen the step
And
up
she
in
did,
the yeah, yeah.
and
She
she
definitely
did.
yeah, and she needed
And
this. This is what she needed.
yeah, because I had her win this match all along because again, similar to Jay, equal levels of rising star power. One of the most popular women in the entire company, and it's one of those we see this potential in you. Do you have it in you? Charlotte's one hell of a measuring stick. So, and I think Tiffany passed that measuring stick. I don't know if it was fully convincingly, but she definitely held her own respectfully.
Yeah, I think
And
her
this
being
one
able to
matches
hold
where
her would be good.
should they run it back, wouldn't be mad at it.
I mean, I'm definitely interested to see them at some point down the road go at it again. This match did not look bad to me. I enjoyed the shoot feel of it. Like you said, when there was parts of like, okay, this ain't gonna look pretty. I didn't expect it to. I didn't want it to. It should have not felt pretty after what we heard from these two ladies. You know what I'm saying? This should have not felt like a friendly affair at all. I like how they were laying it in. Um, a lot of these shots showed effect on Tiffy. She might have walked out of there with a chipped tooth, but that's part of the game. You're a champion. You got to come to defend your throne, and she did just that. And at the
Definitely a
end,
fat ass dot on her head.
yeah, man, like instant bump right there. That shit right on the forehead. You see that? But again, I think she did a great job. Like you said, all the moves she did, even down to the spine buster. I remember critiquing it with not what she did at the Nia Jax. How I felt like kind of forced. I like how she channeled in her Triple H, her Arn, all the great spine buster givers. You know what I'm saying? She kind of laid that one in on Charlotte. I enjoyed that one. It's about damn time that thing looked good. Now I get it with Nia. It's more she got to, Nia got to really jump to help her there, but this one felt more organic right here. This spine buster.
I'm looking this way, like her and Cody are both on SmackDown. Arn Pryor called Cody to get her number, and Arn Pryor said, "Girl, that spine buster looks like actual shit. Let me show you how to do a real one."
Yeah.
But again, hats off to Tiffany. Um, I don't know how soon they're going to run this one back, and also at this point, who would be next for Tiffany at this point?
I think
Jade? I no, honestly, no, no. I do not want to see her and Jade anytime soon.
I think if now that I'm thinking about it, if Charlotte wants to save some kind of face with the fans, I think she gives Tiffany Stratton her flowers the next episode on SmackDown. I I,
And then what?
I mean, then she got to take a break. Maybe go back to the drawing board. Maybe wait for that draft to happen. Maybe you know what I'm saying. But right now, she got put on a. In my eyes,
Yeah,
she got.
I'm saying, what do we do with Tiffany next?
Oh, I mean, somebody got to step up.
But again, who? That's a problem.
It'd have to be Naomi, maybe Jay. We got to see how this championship, like you said, if they do the
Again, I do not want to see her and Jade anytime soon.
who
Both of them agreed for that.
who Tiffy.
Yeah, I do not want to see that.
I mean, that's the next top competitor. That's like a force that she could go against. I mean, if they want to do some champion versus champion jazz again, you got Chelsea there.
I'd rather see Sean Tiffany running back at Backlash than
I mean,
Jade anytime soon.
it's kind of looking like Chelsea might lose that championship to Zelina soon too, freeing up Chelsea from that championship. Maybe
Chelsea would be interesting, but as far as like a main event type one, again, this is the problem with SmackDown side of the women's division. Unfortunately, again, this is where again you could easily incorporate a Roxanne Perez, um, maybe a Naomi, depending on what transpires. Um,
Oscar. I don't know where she's at with her injury. What she's looking like, that'd be interesting.
she's
Curveball.
another one, but again, that's the problem. Again, everyone else is basically spoken for in for the next couple programs on Raw.
Becky Lynch, shall Seth Rollins go to SmackDown like you mentioned? Maybe Becky Lynch follows. She took the belt from Tiffy down in NXT. There's
But
history there.
Becky is allegedly going to be in the tag match with Lara tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean,
That's the problem.
I
What are you
don't
gonna do? What are you gonna do? Call Julia already? I wouldn't do that. I mean, not saying she's not ready for it, but it's one of those. She just got here.
right. Honestly, I mean, I don't know why the hell JC Jane and Gigi, like, I understand Gigi Dolan was hurt, but like, I don't understand why the hell they've been down in NXT so long. To be quite fair and honest, last was a little.
Should they win the NXT titles? We'll see them on all three shows, and then you'll feel better.
Yeah,
But again, Shotzi, her herself, I don't know why her specifically why she's down there.
I'll be honest. Like, she's a good girl. I like Shanti. She don't even look like somebody that be belong in the ring. Like, I don't be.
But I'm looking at this with like if you think about it, Tiffany's already beaten everybody else in the division already.
I mean, Cora Jade is another one that I don't know. I feel like
That's the only one.
she
That's the
could.
problem. It's her and Becky. That's it. She's beaten her. She's beaten Bailey. She's beaten Michin. She's beaten Charlotte. She's beaten Nia. She's beaten all the heavy hitters that are on SmackDown. Unless you get the belts off, the tag belts off of Liv and Raquel, and you have Liv versus Tiffany. That might be it.
This is the
Streets,
problem when
streets. Tiffany versus Jade right now would be the drizzling shits.
you said why they both dress alike. That was. I don't know. There's a reason in sports why the away team is solid, home team is white. I never understood that shit. Like, do they do that shit by accident? Do it be really like some should be too close? I'd be like, not eight. Like, well, how? Like, but
Yes.
female, yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, the female division is in a weird spot where I feel like they don't got aside from the Nia Jax story, which she kind of got past that pretty quickly. It's
Yeah,
kind of like there was nothing there to
she
begin with.
passed that. I mean,
This Charlotte stuff
unless
was a
unless
blessing. Having Charlotte
yeah,
there healthy was a blessing.
but I don't. But between as young in the game as Tiffany and Jade are, for example, athleticism will only go so far, and you run the risk of them being too green, and you'll end up with an average AW match,
Yeah.
and that's not fair to either woman. Like they're both not at that level to where one can play quarterback and lead the match and all that satisfactorily. No, again, they'll get there. It's just right now or anytime soon it doesn't seem like the time because they're both still coming into their own. Um, maybe I don't see. It's a very like Finn maybe, but maybe a Nikki Cross. But again, I would need a lot of convincing for that.
I
Like I
don't
said,
know.
SmackDown's in the worst spot. I said unless you just still live over there.
I low key like I might be off with this statement, but I feel like the women's like that crop of talent that came from NXT, they not quite holding it down like we thought they was going to do. And maybe it's not that. Maybe it's just it's
Could
really
they
just on them.
could they been called up too early? I mean, think about it. They chose to divide the division when you could have kept them in unison, like you do with the tag divisions. You split up the men's tag divisions when they probably be better suited as being unified, and neither show technically can not say they can't facilitate it, but they're the fact that they're still struggling on how to get a proper format for it is alarming.
Hmm.
And this is with the women's division, with the tag division for both genders. I mean, think about it. They're barely struggling to maintain the world titles and the secondary titles.
Right.
So again, like if you unify the men's tag titles and try to find better suitors for the women's tag titles, you might be able to salvage something. But again, it's like as far as women's tag teams, aside from NXT and TNA, the main roster don't have that many women's tag
That,
teams aside from the Secret Service.
that's kind of where I'm getting at a little bit. Like I feel like the whole four horsewoman jazz, them girls being on top,
Them days
kind
are
of
gone. What do you
yeah.
do? Pray to God you get the Bellas ones back for a quick cup of coffee. Then what?
Nah, but that hurt the
Get a month out of Trish Stratus and Lita. Then what?
nah that
You,
hurt the
that's,
growth.
that's, that, those are temporary band aids.
Nah, that hurt the growth of the whole. You got these four women constantly on top, and it's like, who else was? You had these girls like Emma that was hot, but they weren't really doing. Like there was a lot of other alternative girls at the time, and I feel like just having the same Sasha, Becky, you know what I'm saying, Charlotte, it
No,
ain't
I'm
really
just
time.
I'm just using I'm just using everyone else as examples. But again, like at the end of the day, like these are temporary band aids that won't fix long term problems.
Yeah,
But at some point in time, they got to start thinking long term. And right now, it's just not a feasible thing. And again, the runtime of each show doesn't matter. It's just the way both divisions are panned out. It's just not feasible right now.
I don't know. It's definitely in a weird spot though. I don't know what could quite remedy that, but definitely in a weird spot. Tiffany Stratton, she sat here retained, debut, WrestleMania, walked in as champion, walked out.
Again, good match.
Definitely. That's a good notch to have on her belt too. Walked in as champion, walked out.
And like I said, she can now say aside from Jade, she beat the whole division on the show.
And then the last thing, just to just finish that, I think they continue to hurt by putting all of these singles competitors in tag teams, whether it's in whatever, like the men's division or women's. I think I don't know, like
And that's why I said, like, at least on the men's side, they've always historically struggled with tag teams. On the women's side, it's a great idea, but now that you've incorporated the secondary titles for the IC in the US for the women's side, there's no way you can fill the tag division right now. It's just you just can't do it. At least on the main rosters, NXT and with TNA, you might get away with it for a little bit, but on the main roster, you just can't do it right now.
yeah, I agree. And this kind of got to be like a want for it too. Like what I mean by that is like I
Well, I'm
feel
not saying there's not a want for it. It's just again, we can want all we want, but is it
let
something we can
me
actually do
let
consistently?
me finish. That you see, Chad, what happens when people don't let you finish? I'm not even talking about us. I'm talking about the talent. Like, let's say you putting in talent into tag teams, and they really want to be in the singles division. That's already fucked to begin with. Like, we're already doing the wrong thing.
Well,
What I mean by one is like, I felt like tag teams back in the day wanted to be tag teams. Like,
DIY never wanted to be a tag team. Neither did American Alpha.
see, I'm talking about like further back. Like, I'm talking about tag teams that were working and had unison, like tag. Like, we talk about the Usos, the Road Warriors, the
The
like,
Hardys, Edge and Christian, the
yeah,
Dudleys, the
natural,
Steiners.
yeah, natural tag teams that they felt like a glove. Not like, damn, this shit was kind of like
I,
we had.
I got a deep cut for you. The Basham brothers.
Oh,
They
yeah, I
weren't
mean,
even brothers.
like it qualifies though. Like,
But again, like a lot of folks don't look at that because similar to like UFC or boxing, whatever. If you're in that contract together for the most part, or the interest is for two people, not so much the interest for one. So there's times where you maybe it's less money. I don't know. I mean, it could be different for the Usos, could be different for the Hardys, but a lot of folks may not want to put in that type of work.
yep. And again, I think it's the fair. I think wrestling, in my opinion, never presented the tag team division to really be, you know what I'm saying, on the same plateau as a heavyweight championship. It was just part of the show, part of wrestling.
Now, granted, you have Lucha Brothers who are on Raw SmackDown now. You have FTR on AW. At one point in time, you had the Briscoe brothers, Jay Briscoe, God rest his soul. You have the Gorillas of Destiny. There were and are teams around. It's just again, it's just the problem is there's not enough of them for what
Yeah.
you're trying to do.
Yep.
And again, it's not because everyone's on this show or that show or on a contract to the indies. It's just again, if you got to do random stuff like two-man power trip, MVP and Matt Hardy, or again, like I said with DIY and American Alpha back in the days, at some point you got to just let folks know, hey, this is what we see in you. This is how we see you making a good amount of money. Sell that to them, and don't be afraid to sell that to them. But again, it's just one of those things where at the end of the day, it may be in the best interest for at least with the women's tag belts to put these belts on hold or a hiatus, establish the secondary belts, and then essentially whoever is left over, that's how you would probably mold the women's tag division, and then you recreate the want for the women's tag team championships.
Hmm. Some way to
Don't
make it
just
feel
say
important.
don't just say we need to have this because of inclusivity or some other generic reason.
Yeah, it's some way to make it feel important, man. Cause I'm afraid that like I with the way that this landscape is, I don't know how long before we unify maybe the United States and Intercontinental Women's Championship. Like I feel like right now, the Chelsea Green has done phenomenal, and I'm not trying to put much on Lyra, but it's just like that championship. She had,
Lyra hasn't been given an opportunity to try to do anything because
yeah,
again they had her trying to do the tag team bullshit with Bailey.
and now it's gonna be. I have my thoughts like, oh, maybe Bailey turns on her at some point. So now that we pivoting from that, it's kind of like gonna be interesting to see what happens tomorrow with that match. And what happens after, like if like you said, maybe a Becky comes back to help her.
And again with that story, at one point in time, Becky and Lyra were fighting over the NXT Women's Championship.
Yep.
So that's there's technically a story there. But again, as far as the tag stuff, it's like it's just there, just for a feel good moment, nothing more, nothing less. And if you're trying to establish some type of significance with those titles, that ain't gonna cut it.
Mm. But Tiffany standing tall, she retained, and we're gonna see this coming Friday. Hopefully, what happens with that tag team division? Not the tag team, the women's division right there. Moving forward, we touched on. a little bit earlier, the main event. But here we are, main event of night one. Seth Rollins comes out with a flamethrower, dressed in black. Lights go out. But let me before I skip that, he turns around. He's firing towards this, kind of symbolic almost of how The Rock did when
I
he
thought it was
came
the same
out.
flamethrower, to be honest.
Yeah, I thought the same thing, right? So lights go out. Now song comes back. He's in white. I was like, that's cold. I don't know how. I mean, he did a good job changing. I don't know how they got that done so quick.
Well, you saw how big his robe was, or whatever he had on,
Yeah, right. Like did a good job hiding the white underneath all of that black for shit show. Cause
and this time of year, he has always had some very interesting outfits.
if I could say something too, just nitpicking real quick, if I could, the entrances for this year's WrestleMania, I felt like they were cool, but nothing really stood out to me this year yet. Like, sure, um, look, I forgot who came out. Somebody came out. I think it was Charlotte. Was it Charlotte? She came out in the car.
Charlotte came on a Rolls Royce. Elena came on a Maserati. Tiffany had a Barbie themed entrance.
That was
Uh,
to me, that was probably the coolest one, the most creative one.
and then Punk came out with Living Color
That was the
with
most
with
musical.
with the Summer of Punk outfit.
Yeah. So to me, those are the two best entrances. Everything else kind of felt like, like just standard, but with a little WrestleMania, like a little WrestleMania feel to it. Nothing too crazy. Like even the Jay Uso shit, just to like not spend too much time talking about entrances, but like they did that. They incorporated that little the Fatal Fury game in the beginning of his shit, and then had people run down the ramp with the yeet signs on the flags. You know what I'm saying? So again, nothing really like too crazy. I think more the other years were kind of like when they really played into their characters. Like you seen Cena with a whole bunch of Cenas, or like Triple H with the skull. Like I think Jacob did good with his. He came out with the mask. He came out with some
That
dope.
mask was nice.
Yeah. So like there was some few like notable fashion choices or just like cool entrance moments, but yeah, those I just wanted to mention that before we conclude, cause we are nearing the end here, chat. We approaching 3 hours and we talking about the main event as we get ready for night two tomorrow.
Which I'm sure will stand the test of time as being a classic.
Yeah, bro, I can't imagine that tomorrow's not spicy. Like I feel like tomorrow got the makeup to like every match have something happen in it where like we're like, damn. Like, you know what I mean? Like again, you ran down the card earlier, but like AJ Styles, Logan Paul, like just off the in-ring work alone, the athleticism in that ring, we could see some oh shit just from the moves alone. Since City Street Fight, we got Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre. I said, my crazy mind, I said, what if they fucking actually go outside to like the real street where there's people walking and shit and have you know what I mean? Like, what if they get that
Hmm.
crazy on WrestleMania night two with this shit? Kind of like remember when Goldust and Roddy Piper had that match at WrestleMania and they were all over like the parking lot area with the gold car and stuff like they could just get wild with this. Then you got the women's tag title match, Liv Morgan, Raquel. We looking at a potential Becky return there. Fatal four way. I'm looking for somebody to get screwed in this shit bad. Like, you know what I mean? Like somebody's gonna get screwed in this fatal four way. I'll be surprised if Braun Breaker just demolishes people after the shenanigans, just packs up whoever's standing last, and just walks away as champion, still retaining. We got triple threat. Io Sky, Bianca, and Rhea Ripley. I expect some shit happening there, honestly. I don't know if it's gonna be before, during, or after, but I don't care when, what order, how. I think some shit's happening, and then the main event, night two, undisputed WWE Championship match, Cody Rhodes, John Cena. I'm expecting the final boss. I'm expecting Travis Scott. It's almost like I mean, if not the final boss, Travis Scott for sure. But I
I
most
feel it's
certainly,
got to be at least. I feel it's got to be at least Rock because it's like the stuff at Chamber. What was the point? Seriously, what was the point?
I mean, yeah. I was trying to find a way when John Cena addressed it on Friday. The little bit, remember what I was waiting for, just for him to acknowledge it was still kind of like it didn't make sense to me. Still, like bro, you won the
So
champ.
Cody brings it up a couple weeks ago, and then that Friday after Chamber, and that's all we hear about it. No, fuck that.
Yeah, like so it felt like there was no, like, according to Cena's words, there was no plan. It was a rebuttal on the spot because of what Cody said, and you just sees the opportunity to 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 do something crazy. Like fuck it. That's what I digested from it. Like, oh, you chose to not do, and then, well, I'm gonna take this opportunity to prove to people that I could do what they say I couldn't do, and you can't do. Okay.
Yeah,
Like, I was really hoping that there was some more to it, more like they looking to take over the game for the next few years, and they looking to recruit. You know what I mean? Something like
again, the return of the corporation. Something.
said. What does Travis Scott have to do with WWE? I mean, they got a new partnership. They got
I mean,
Cactus Jack.
shit. He popped Cody's eardrum.
Yeah, I mean, like
Cody got to get his leg back, or or book Bad Bunny versus Travis Scott. Something I don't know.
it's this is my favorite saying now because my boy told me this. It's the same trope, just different players, bro. What did Pete Rose have to do with wrestling? What did Mike Tyson, any of these celebrities that have walked the grace of WWE ring in WrestleMania season? What you know what I mean? Like, what did they have to do? They could go in, you know what I mean? Why do y'all? I mean, who said we want to see him wrestle? Why don't you want to see him wrestle? Why don't you want to see him get planted on his head one good time? That's the better question.
Exactly. Like I said, someone got a receipt coming.
I mean, people used to not like Mayweather, but he used to sell out fights. People used to want to see him get knocked out.
And people would pay just watching his ass whoop. Same reason why folks would pay to watch a Jake Paul fight. You want to see him get his ass whooped.
That's the beautiful part about professional wrestling I learned over the years. It doesn't make sense. Is it supposed to? I don't know.
Again, and it ain't a flip to make a buck or two.
He said, okay, I'm out. Peace out, brother. Yeah, because and you can leave with that shit if you're gonna tell me what I didn't say I want to. I never said I want to see the dude wrestle. We just speaking on what's actual factuals. There's talks that Travis is gonna be around. Yo, Paul Heyman was wilding, bro. Listen, which part you talking about during the match or just something aftermath that we didn't see? what
He's probably talking about what happened in the last few minutes of the show.
what happened? Was it something else or just a standing
Probably,
over?
probably we talked about earlier.
Okay, okay.
Just the last couple minutes of the main event.
Oh yeah, yeah, Streets. We spoke about that a little early on when we first started to show how he kind of gave CM Punk the little standard low blow, and then he kind of gave Roman Reigns the screwdriver low blow. Where he dug it in, twisted, and let's get out of there. Nah, you good? Yeah, I caught that too. I ain't gonna lie. Paul Heyman, he was yo, bro, he was on point this evening too, man. Like I'm not gonna lie, like he really took us on a emotional ride where like if you're a CM Punk fan, he got you because that second he slid the chair to CM Punk. You know what I'm
If
saying?
you're a Roman fan, sorry, Amethyst, you're just heartbroken by that.
Yep.
And then you're heartbroken again when he gives you a very emphatic low blow. As
That
Taz
one,
will put it, Yam Bag Yahtzee.
I'm not even gonna lie. The low blow shit, it kind of hurt the most because I felt like that was you can't come back from that. It's not. You can't fix that.
It's irreconcilable. You
Yeah,
made your
bro.
bed.
Yeah, bro.
But again, that's the beauty of it.
Yeah, I heard the Seth mention Moxley. I mean, I'm not really surprised. I seen them in the video package. They ain't hide Moxley too much. You know what I'm saying? They've mentioned him before by Ambrose or by Mox. But yeah, it's always refreshing to hear his name. You know, I'm like, oh
Because
yeah,
he's got love him or hate him, he's got history with the story.
yeah.
He's always gonna be a part of it.
And I think
The Shield was something special.
we're in that good era of wrestling with WWE, unless contractually they not trying to get in trouble, they not shying away from mentioning their history. You know what I mean? Like if it's
The only
happening,
way they'll get in trouble is that Tony Khan has a wild hair up his ass, and I don't think he's that stupid because of like, hey, they're only talking about the shit he did when he was there. And I said, I don't think Tony's that level of stupid yet.
yeah. And even so, AEW doesn't mention even up to Vince McMahon's name. You know what I'm
I was
saying?
say, how often does MJF bring up WWE? Ricochet, Edge, FTR, Swerve of all people.
I say this. I thought it was interesting Seth Rollins' gear choice. I was paying attention to the white. I was like, the last time he wore this, he was a very successful man, like that colorway. White and
But
gold.
that was a very different fit too. But I see
Yeah,
the
yeah.
callback to the similarities. That part I understand.
Yep, yep. I was like, this is a nice little. But yeah, I could understand why you point that out because I don't know if Punk really dug in his closet and got the outfit, but he went with that classic look right there. So there's
Hmm.
a lot of callbacks, a lot of future like Roman Reigns came out with some new drip, looked kind of dope, a little different from the black and red stuff that we've been accustomed to seeing him rock the last 2 years. So I was happy with the way
Oh,
this ended right here, to be honest.
I got a little bit of breaking news.
Okay.
So we touched on this earlier. Of again the possibility, potential lack thereof, of an Alberto Del Rio return. Those close to Patron claim that he has said different. The two sides have discussed possible appearances and that his, I guess, appearance is no longer deemed contagious.
Mm,
Now again, this is from Fightful, so take that with a grain of salt.
okay. I mean, he was a good heel too, though. Like for real, like in WWE, like
And again, Bell for Bell, one of the better guys out there.
yeah, bro. See, he's a dude that I think is like a natural heel. Remember when we talked a few weeks ago about naturals and tweeners? Like I think it's a
Hmm.
lot of people that's looking
He's a
for.
natural heel. Miz is a
Yeah,
natural heel. Seth and Charlotte are easily natural heels.
there's some people that they like the admiration from the crowd, and it kind of sways how you gotta pen them in now. Like it's hard to this dude or gal supposed to be a heel, but the crowd loves them. How do we now the opponent? How do we book the opponent in this situation? Like, how does the
Well,
baby face get booked? They get shit on now.
in Seth's case, you do what you did tonight. You haven't signed a deal with the devil.
Yeah, that was perfect. I like that. And again, Seth kind of been a tweener to me also because Like now he's tapping back into the natural heel. But I just think
Again,
based on how
we get the architect that bought in.
yeah, cause you got this part of Seth Rollins that like he talks facts, right? Like he talks real shit. But then history, like he can be grimy. So he's that natural heel that we talking about. But he's been playing this both sides of the fence for like the last 2 years, damn near. Cause I feel like, to be honest, pandemic era, they was positioning him to be natural heel again. Monday Night Messiah, he was out there taking Rey Mysterio's eye out. Then I don't know what the fuck, where, how we got to him being a good guy again. Even him with the Cody shit, I felt like they was positioning him to be like he was antagonizing Cody, dressing up as like wearing his dad's polka dots. You know what I mean?
Or
Like
even or later that year at the Rumble, he came out with the Shield gear.
yeah, like he was doing shit to the fan favorite, like to poke at them. And he know like that is a baby face tactic. Like a good person, they not even gonna have it in them to know to do that. Like, oh, I'm gonna wear your dead father's attire and tease you with it. Like a real baby face not even gonna go there. You're not gonna see Cena when he was at the top of his baby face run do that. You know what I'm saying? Like Hogan, all these cats. Like you weren't gonna see them do that shit. But Seth is a natural heel for that. But just when he get that fan love right there, it changes things.
Facts.
CM Punk a little bit too, cause I was looking back at that that feud he had with the Undertaker, and I'm sitting there like, damn, like we want to cheer for CM Punk so bad, but he got to be a fucking like he was doing douchebag shit, like the urn with fucking Paul
After
Bearer.
Paul Bearer passed,
Yeah, like
Taker, he's dedicating the match to Paul Bearer and his family type shit.
yeah,
Punk was
doing
some bullshit that time.
yeah, bro. Cause we was loving him, so he was doing his. In my opinion, felt like he was doing the most, so we could give him that heat. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's
Facts.
yeah, it's kind of weird when they get put in those positions right there. But do
Yeah.
you feel like I know we kind of spoke about it earlier? Do you feel like Seth Rollins? I know you might think Paul Heyman, Seth are working with The Rock. Do they show up tomorrow to to mess up that main event?
All I'll say is if they do, I wouldn't be entirely surprised. I'll still enjoy it, but if they do end up being in cahoots, I wouldn't be surprised because again, based on how Paul's operating, because again, I don't know if you remember when Heyman got one of his phones smashed, he hid the phone he had for The Rock.
Mm, do remember.
So that's all I'm leaning off of that. And Paul may end up tying that back, he may not, but it's just one of the Easter eggs that I kind of like kept a close eye on these last few months or year, excuse me.
Okay, okay. But yeah, I also want to mention this before we tap out. I think this is gonna have better replay value. Like I think in real time, one of
This
y'all.
match, yes. The rest of the card, probably not so much.
No, I think different. Like I really think when unless people still really want to be hurt about something, though, I think when we look back and could have that feel good moment, like you know what, remove everything, Jay. When because I think people, what's the word I used to love to use that Danny Bryan said,
Oh,
fickle.
Fickle?
Yeah, like don't change the energy now. People was wanting this shit, so I just be happy it happened, right? Like by hook or by
Well,
crook.
at least in the J regard, that's always been like a legit 50-50. That's never changed.
Yeah,
So,
so
but but the Charlotte Tiffany stuff, I mean, yeah, I don't know how folks will be in tune in that. If anyone's gonna rewatch a match aside from the main event, it'll probably be the feel good moment for Jacob as opposed to Jay, unfortunately.
because I do this every year when I go back and I watch whatever it is, if it's a Royal Rumble, I go back and watch the previous Royal Rumbles. WrestleMania. I felt like last year WrestleMania wasn't really nothing too. I mean, like it had. I feel like it's gonna have the same amount of good matches as these two nights are having.
Well, the difference between that one and this one, I feel, at least for night one, what we saw so far for night one is last year we saw stories culminate, whereas this, it's like where a lot of the stuff would be handled in the match, the PLEs before the Big Four are now being utilized on Mania. For example, with Phoenix and El Grande Americano, that should have that this match is probably like a Raw match that had no business. Same with War Raiders and New Day. That didn't scream Mania to me.
Yeah, the Street
And
Profits and the fucking they had a 6-man match last year with Bobby Lashley and
like I said, well, you could have easily done Street Profits versus the Machine Guns and DIY in a triple threat tag match on this card. It would have been fine. You could have had instead of well, I don't know, any just take any dud match on this card. You could have incorporated something with Chelsea Green.
hmm
Like there's a
I
lot
mean,
of
I'm
the
gonna
could have
be
done.
honest. I don't know why they doing that triple threat TLC next week on a regular SmackDown. That very much could have been an exciting on either one of these nights.
Well, to what you touched on last week, I think they're trying, or this past Monday, they may try to put restore the emphasis on the Raw and SmackDown after WrestleMania
Yep.
because again, this essentially is the Christmas, the New Year's, the Super Bowl of the WWE. So maybe we saw last year the wrong. I mean, yeah, SmackDown for Mania gave us Tama Tonga, but Raw gave us an awkward promo between The Rock and Cody, and that was it.
hmm
And with what they're trying to set up for Raw and SmackDown now, maybe they're trying to just again make those shows after WrestleMania seem somewhat important again. Because again, we're getting that triple threat match. We're getting Aleister Black's return supposedly. Allegedly, sometime soon, we're getting a Jeff Cobb debut. Allegedly, tomorrow we're supposed to be getting the return of Becky Lynch. Who knows what else we're gonna get? We may get The Rock tomorrow. We may get Travis Scott tomorrow. Um, I talked about who's gonna possibly contest Tiffany Stratton on SmackDown. There's a rumor that we might get there's a rumor we got the Bella Twins back. So
hmm
there's a lot of head scratching maybe. So let's these next 6 7 days. I'm curious to see what sticks. And then my next question is not question is more the statement that I stated a few hours ago is I still believe it's in the best interest that we do if well when we do the draft do it after Backlash, at least a couple weeks after. Let Mania have its moment. Let it build towards Backlash, because that's what's supposed to be for. Then do the draft, do your hard reset. Because if you do it now, you're gonna fuck up a lot of stories, and we're never gonna get the payoffs. And we're stuck with the whole Gable and Otis stuff. We're stuck with some similar to the bullshit Mello and Trick stuff. Stuff like Mello and Andrade will be in limbo forever, and we don't need any more of that stuff.
Yeah, that's facts though.
Like we are now in year two of the Paul Levesque era, and again, whether the Rock's calling more and more shots or not, again, let's see them do more than just the bare minimum now for these shows. Whether it's Raw, SmackDown, the PLE, do more than the bare minimum. You'd be surprised how much stuff will be rectified immediately.
And that's all it is. Like I know it's hard to put importance on every single little story, but like you
Just
said,
try.
yeah, or at least have a little payoff for what's need to be obviously paid off. Don't just have it lingering and sitting and stop at
Or
the
or
start.
or again, it looks like what before every big four we get what two maybe three PLEs in between them just about. You can spread some stories out. It
Hell,
ain't nothing wrong with that.
hell, and now they
But
got
give
Saturday night main
but
events.
that too, and like I said, when you see stuff that's building momentum, you can pay some stuff off that Saturday main event. But more important, it's like give stuff its respective course to see how much mileage we can get out of it. Don't just get it started and then just give up on it. That's a Vince move. We're above that now. If that's getting mileage, which means it's gonna make some money.
Yeah, I'm there. I'm there with you. Now we just gotta wait and see what night two holds for us. I'm ready to get out of here, man. I'm ready to, you know,
Sounds good.
uh,
Again, tune up the band if you want.
let's tune it up. Chad, we appreciate y'all so much. You know what I'm saying? This is what we live for. This is the combination. It's
We have
WrestleMania
a
week.
lot more shit to talk about tomorrow.
Yeah,
But we'll
man.
see you on 24 hours.
And just like WWE, there's no off season for them. There's no off season for us. We live for this yearly, and we continue just as the day goes. So when they done on Sunday and they start Monday, we'll be right back with the Monday night. Just know that.
Oh yeah, man.
Oh yeah.
Hold on, wait. I think they lost the script. We got some shooters.
Hold on, wait.